6 mark. Turf Moor back in the Premier League. It feels ready to go as the teams emerge now from the opposite corner of the stadium from where they once walked, over in the northeast of where we're viewing. That view extends over the Bob Lord stand, that shallow single-tiered stand, over the rolling hills of Lancashire. The terrace houses immediately behind the stand with their light brickwork, and an old industrial factory chimney rises high as well. But the focus is on the green grass of Turf Moor, where the fans that surround the pitch have been called on by manager Scott Parker ahead of today's game after last weekend's 3-0 opening day defeat at Spurs. 3-0 was also how Sunderland's game finished, but in the Black Cats' favour. The stadium are like rocking after an 8-year absence from the Premier League. They returned in style. Now some of those supporters are in the cricket ground stand away to our right-hand side. 2/3 of that stand is theirs, and plenty of red and white stripes on display. Sunderland, Charlie Adam, former Premier League midfielder alongside myself, Mike Minor, this afternoon. Sunderland started in style. Burnley already being asked, the manager Scott Parker, is this a must-win for them?
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? That's the level and the elite level of the Premier League, and you know, you face a tough away game at Tottenham, who have brought in a new manager, champions of Europe, a feel-good factor around Tottenham, and you get there and you've not even had your first home game yet, and people are asking, is this a must-win? Only because the next 5 or 6 fixtures where you look at, but it's the Premier League, anything can happen. You look at Tottenham today going beating Man City, you know, it's just showing that the work that Thomas Frank's done really well. Sunderland obviously beat West Ham, who ended up getting hammered 5-1 last night again at home to Chelsea, so they're in a difficult period. So for Sunderland to get West Ham on the opening day of the season, they were delighted. Now Burnley have got Sunderland, who they've matched, played each other a couple of times last year. 1 win for Sunderland, 1 draw. It's now a moment for these Burnley players to really step up in the Premier League. And the big thing for the players is, and the management will be getting that first win of the season. If they can, when they get that, they can hopefully then grow in confidence, because it took them after a few games, and the last time they were in the Premier League 2 years ago, to get that first win. So it's important that they can get that quickly. But there's a lot of good things happening at Burnley Football Club, and I think this could be a very, very good season for this team and this manager.
Well, they've got Manchester United to come, Liverpool, Forest and Manchester City before the end of September as well. So is Sunderland a favourable home game for Burnley this afternoon?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's. I think if you said that can we have a home game, it'd be against the promoted team on our first day, so on our first home game. So of course you look at Sunderland, and everybody thinks that this is going to be a tough game, and it will be. But you have to focus on what you can do.
Well, ahead of kick-off, Burnley will pay tribute to one of their own, the former Clarets and Northern Ireland striker Willie Irvine, who passed away last month. Scored 78 goals in 126 appearances before later moving to Preston, Brighton and Halifax. He'll be marked here with a moment's remembrance from all sides of Turf Moor. Some old archive footage of Willie Irvine playing for the Clarets is on the big screen in the corner away to our left-hand side. So Burnley, who need to make this place a fortress if they want a chance of survival this season. They only won 2 of 19 the last time they were in the top flight. That has to be better. The smartly dressed Scott Parker in his suit makes 2 changes for their first home game. Son and Laurent drop to the bench. Ugachukwu gets his first start for Burnley. Jakob Brun-Larsen comes in as well. So De Bruyke in goal. Walker, Esteve, Ekdal and Hartman the back four as Burnley begin proceedings, kicking from left to right in their claret shirts, white shorts and sky blue socks this afternoon. Already trying to hook it towards the edge of the penalty area away to our right hand side. The captain Josh Cullen, who carried out his newborn child out of the tunnel when the teams emerged a little earlier, gets his foot on the ball and plays it back into his own half. He's in midfield alongside Ugachukwu. Brun-Larsen, Hannibal and Anthony are the attacking 3 midfielders. Lyle Foster, the number 9, will lead the line this afternoon. As for Sunderland, all in black, their away kit, They kept a clean sheet last time out. They've kept a clean sheet in their last 3 matches with Burnley as well. They'll hope to extend that to 4 today. Reggie Lebris makes 2 changes. Sealed, who did face a fitness test in the week after going off injured against West Ham in the second half, is fit but only for the bench. So Alderete, who replaced Seal in the second half, comes in for his first Premier League start. Roos is their goalkeeper. Some brilliant saves last weekend. Hume Ballard, one of the goal scorers. Alderete and Reynildo, the back 4. Diarra, Xhaka and Siddiqui, the midfield. Taubi, Mayenda and Adingra, the front 3 for the Black Cats, cladded in black this afternoon. The ball runs up towards the edge of the Burnley penalty area, away to our left-hand side, and Martin Dubravka, the 36-year-old Slovakian, hooks it up towards the halfway line. Couple of headers between both teams, and then Sunderland get the ball on the floor, playing it to the near left-hand side. Seaman Adingra offside, flag raised up, and Burnley have a free kick just on the edge of their defensive third. Charlie Adam.
Yeah, good start from Sunderland, trying to get forward and force Burnley back the pitch, but again, good atmosphere here and a good energy to the game, which you'd expect. But it's important that the 2 in midfield of Ugachukwu and Cullen can get control of Xhaka and Diarra. It's really important he can get that, and if they can get that upper hand, Xhaka, he's been a top player and been a very, very good player for Bayer Leverkusen over the last couple of years under Xabi Alonso. So you can see why Sunderland brought them in and gained that a little bit serious. But this front 3 of Sunderland can cause you problems with the speed and the pace that they've got.
A few groans from the Burnley fans as Lyle Foster misplaced a pass out to his right hand side, missed Hannibal, and then that broke down, allowing Sunderland to come forward, who've now won a free kick 10 yards inside the Burnley half, near side the left as we look at it for them. A couple of early goals in the Football League to tell you about. One at the Tough Street Community Stadium, where Bolton have gone 1-0 down against Lincoln City. Northampton Town 1-0 up against Exeter. Both of those coming then in League One. Sunderland free kick, left hand side, which Granit Xhaka, the captain, who you imagine will be on set piece duty, certainly from a free kick and penalty kick perspective this season. 3 minutes gone, 0-0. Xhaka left footed, sends that ball rotating with a load of backspin into the penalty area, and a chance from close range for Mayenda, saved by Dubravka, who got down to his right hand side pretty quickly. Sunderland have since given away a free kick, but it was the header across goal that was causing problems, and from close range Mayenda will probably think he should have scored. Yeah,
there's blocking going round the back, and it's, to be fair to Sunderland, it's a good move, and Ballard gets a good free header into the middle of the goal, and they should have done, Adingra could have done better than that, but it's a good save from Dubravka.
Right-footed cushion volley, Dubravka down, but Mayenda, who got Sunderland's first goal on their return to the Premier League, ball was slightly behind him maybe in his defence, but
yeah, but I still think you've got to get better contact on it, hasn't he? But for Burnley, they're getting the block around the back and getting Ballard free, and that was the idea. But lovely ball from Xhaka. Important that back line of the 7 of the defenders, they have to go back, they have to drop the line a little bit and move further back so that they don't allow that block.
10 goals, 5 assists in the Championship last season for Eliitha Mayenda. Don Ballard here is having some treatment from the physio on his it's like his left hamstring. He's struggling down there, and so influential last week for Sunderland. He won more duels, more aerial duels, had more shots on target, won more fouls and cleared more balls than any of his teammates last week. Sunderland don't need to lose him.
No, I think he's actually probably looks like he's jarred his knee a little bit when he lands here. Yeah, he just looks like he's jarred his knee a little bit, and then it's his groin he's holding. So they're just looking to see maybe he's got a bit of a groin issue there.
A couple of substitutes warming up for Sunderland. 0-0 the score.
They're making a sub already, which is a blow, because Dan Ballard's done really well for him, isn't he, over last season and also this year. So that'll be a blow to Sunderland with that back line.
So Reggie Lebris forced into an early change. 5 minutes in here at Turf Moor. Overcast. 0-0 the score between Burnley and Sunderland. Bournemouth have taken the lead against Wolves early on. Marcus Tavernier's got the goal there. Inverness Caledonian Thistle 1 up at Montrose in the Scottish Football League 1. Stirling Albion have the lead. Chesterfield have taken the lead at Harrogate. Swindon Town also leading Shrewsbury in League 2. So you're up to date. 5 Live Sports Extra, one of the over 200 Premier League games that 5 Live will be bringing you throughout the season. And Ballard is able to limp off, so has that changed the mind of manager Reggie Lebris? We'll wait and see what he does. He stands in his tracksuit and white trainers, navy tracksuit, white trainers on the far side of the field.
No, sorry to interrupt. I think they're looking to definitely make that change now. It's important. It's the second game of the season, and if Ballard comes on and they lose him for 6 to 8 weeks, ultimately the player will want to stay on.
Drifting ball out towards the left-hand side as Burnley look to get their first attempt on the Sunderland goal this afternoon. Some clever work by Jayden Anthony. It's a low ball in from that far side touchline, dealt with at the first time of asking by Sunderland, and now wriggling away on that far side of the field. Mayenda trying to drag his team over the halfway line, which he does, coming in field. Burnley have the numbers back. I think one of the last challenges in there was Quillency Hartman, their Dutch defender, and now Burnley just calm things down a little bit. Kyle Walker, his first game in the home end of Burnley here at Turf Moor this afternoon after his summer move from Manchester City. Good noise around Turf Moor, backed by their faithful that Scott Parker has called on. Hannibal out towards the left-hand touchline again. Anthony just clips it back for Hartman, low along the ground. Now Hannibal, corner of the penalty area. There are 4 claret shirts in that penalty area. One of them is Lyle Foster, who rises for the header. It's past him, but Burnley have kept this alive here. Hannibal can't find a route through the goal. Hartman squeezes it back out towards that far side. Some defending for Trey Hume to do, who squares up against Jayden Anthony. Cullen, the captain, pushes it back towards the edge of the centre circle. It's patient from Burnley, waiting for the right moment to feed that ball. The first one blocked off on its route through to Hannibal by Cullen. He gets a second chance to this time get it through to Jayden Anthony. Sunderland a bit sloppy in their clearance. It's not the cleanest piece of play from either side. Burnley win it back on the edge of the centre circle.
Yeah, good. Just a little bit of experience with Kyle Walker. It's getting a bit frantic. Turnovers are there, and Kyle Walker just stepping in, taking a bit of experience in there just to calm the game down. Now Burnley looking to get control of the game. Ballard gone down.
So he's played the ball over the top. Foster goes chasing, and it's left by Robin Roofs to let that go behind for a Sunderland goal kick. 8 minutes played then at Turf Moor. Burnley 0, Sunderland 0.
Yeah, a frantic start from both teams, isn't it? A lot of turnovers and that, but just getting that experience with Cullen and Ugachukwu in midfield. They need to get control of the game and get on the ball and try and get a few passes there. But you could see with what Sunderland have, with the boys at Dingra and the boys at the top end of the pitch, Mayenda, they've got pace, haven't they? And they've got power. So if Burnley allow them to turn the ball over and they can actually go and be able to run into the space, then Burnley could cause problems.
So Sunderland changed. Dan Ballard did come back on, but has been unable to continue. So 9 minutes in, forced into their first substitution of the afternoon, and Jensen Seelt comes on now, having started last weekend against West Ham. He went off 10 minutes into the second half injured, got the fitness test, got the approval from Reggie Lebris in his press conference a couple of days ago, and he's now called into action in that Sunderland back line. Ball played out towards the left-hand side. Lyle Foster pokes it on through, asking a lot of the legs of Jayden Anthony, who ran out of time, ran out of space, but it was quick and it was sharp from Burnley there on the left of the penalty area, 0-0.
Yeah, good little pass, but Lyle Foster's weight of pass has just overhit it there. But again, Anthony Foster, the relationship they had in terms of from last season, I thought Jayden Anthony done a brilliant job last year for the Burnley team at the top end of the pitch, coming off a side, and the goals and assists he scored.
This plays pass by the very experienced Granit Xhaka. The 32-year-old just plays it out towards the far side. It rolls over for a throw-in. Nobody there in the black shirt of Sunderland as Hannibal tries to squeeze in between 2 Sunderland defenders. Goes down, appeals with his arms outstretched to the referee, who this afternoon is Michael Salisbury. Nothing given. And instead Sunderland will have a goal kick with their goalkeeper Robin Roofs. Elsewhere in the Football League, Barrow ahead at Colchester, Wickham 1-0 up on Reading, Preston leading Ipswich Town by a goal to 0 in the Championship. Coventry City, who now do own the CBS Arena, celebrating with a goal from Hadji Wright. They lead Queen's Park Rangers 1-0. Notts County in front against Bromley by the same scoreline. You're up to date 5 Sports Extra, live from Turf Moor, on one of your 2 Premier League commentaries this Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. with Arsenal Leeds to come at 5:30. And then tomorrow, Steve Crossman is at the brand new Hill Dickinson Stadium at Everton for their first official game in their brand new stadium on Bramley Moor Dock in Liverpool, as they host Brighton. And then from 4:30 it is Fulham against Manchester United on 5 Live's Premier League Sunday. Fleetwood ahead against Oldham in the Pete Wild derby on the Fylde coast. Ched Evans has got the goal there in League 2. Roofs, the Sunderland goalkeeper, flat, low along the floor, down the middle of the pitch to the halfway line. Sunderland now bringing out towards this near side. They do have the attacking pace of Talby to use here. Shamseen Talby back onto the left-hand side, the near side, as we look at it in this first half, where it's Burnley 0, Sunderland 0. One big chance for Mayenda from the edge of the 6-yard box. Cushioned volley on his right foot that he saw saved low by Dubravka. And Sunderland in possession, taking their time. They advanced into the Burnley half. They played it back into their own territory, and then the long ball forward runs straight on through for a comfortable catch from Martin Dubravka. Yeah,
good line from that Burnley defence there. Stev organising there with Ekdal, allowing Sunderland there a long ball and going through to Dubravka. But again, looking for Hannibal really to jump from midfield to go and press that Sunderland defence, and not allowing them to come out and step with the ball, because Brown Larson is doing a great job following Adingra all the way back, and it allows Kyle Walker to go back inside the pitch for any of the pocket players or any of the runs from the pocket.
Burnley won a free kick just to the left of the centre circle. Lyle Foster foul. Both managers calm on the edge of their technical area. Scott Parker's just retreated back to his seat. Reggie Labrise has got his arms folded. Scott Parker has won 97 games as a manager in total. He's closing in on that century. Won 30 of his 51 matches in charge of Burnley. Looking to get that first crucial home win of the season. They watched fellow promoted sides Sunderland and Leeds win last weekend, Burnley, as they lost 3-0 to Spurs. So can they now get themselves off the mark? Kyle Walker, right-footed, sends the ball into the penalty area. It's knocked down, edge of the box for Hannibal to smash into a crowd of players. Really put his boot behind that. The cross comes in from the right-hand side off Ekdal, deflects off Reynildo, and goes behind for Burnley's first corner of the game, 0-0.
Yeah, Kyle Walker just there clipping it to the back post, keeping it alive, and now the opportunity for Hartman now to be able to put the ball in the box, in swinging corner, which Hartman will take. So left-footed in swinging delivery expected on this near side. Burnley's right, in front of the Sunderland fans. Robin Roos raises 2 arms in the air in his orange goalkeeper kit this afternoon. He's got a busy 6-yard box to negotiate that then cleared a lot of space as Hartman's ball came in, and it was an easy catch for the Sunderland goalkeeper. Yeah, I thought it was too much height on it, and there was no blockers on the goalkeeper, but Kyle Walker's made a mistake here. Yeah, poor touch. He's just passed that in effect to Noah Siddiqui. Now it's on the left-hand side for Sunderland. Lovely ball played through. Chance here for Talby, who chips it round Dubravka and over and past the post on the far side. Wide of goal it goes, but another half chance there for Sunderland. Little more tricky this one for Talby. Dinked it from the left of the 6-yard box over to the far right post. It runs wide. It's still 0-0. Yeah, it's a lovely little ball from Adingra. Just cuts back inside, and the run from the pocket of Talby there, and just puts it just inches by the post. But again, Dubravka coming out has obviously made it a little harder for him. Brentford have the lead against Aston Villa at the G-Tech. Dango Ouattara has scored. That is your commentary over on BBC Radio 5 Live. Brackley in the National League ahead against the leaders Rochdale. Mansfield 1-0 up on Leyton Orient. Wrexham have scored through Kiefer Moore against Sheffield Wednesday. Former Sheffield United man on the score sheet there, as Dubravka sends it right-footed long over the halfway line. Missed header from Brun Larsen. Burnley do win a throw in 10 yards inside the Sunderland half. That's exactly what you want from your £40 million new signing, isn't it? Scoring on his debut, Ouattara from Bournemouth. But no, here it's that mistake from Kyle Walker allowing Sunderland that half a chance. But again, dangerous on the counter-attack, Sunderland so far. And Burnley misplaced the ball down the middle, looking for the run of Lyle Foster. So Sunderland back in possession over on that far side there, right in the opening 45 minutes. We've had quarter of an hour. It is 0-0. The 2 big chances to the away side. Yeah, but I think the big chances have come from Burnley's own mistakes, haven't they? Set play and also that touch from Kyle Walker. But when the Burnley start to grow into the game and they get control of the game, which they need to with Ugachukwu and Cullen, need to get on the ball if they can and get a few passes together, get momentum, get a little bit of the crowd in with the team, and then we'll see a different Burnley. But at the moment, the Sunderland have had a lot of the ball
and had those two chances. This is Sealt on the ball. Sunderland, who played out a 0-0 draw here back in January in the Championship. They missed two penalties, one in the 87th and one in the 94th minute. They did win 1-0 at the Stadium of Light, despite going down to 10 men. Remain Mundle with the winner that day for Regis Lebris's side. Elsewhere, former Burnley manager Sean Dyche's son has scored for Northampton Town. Max Dyche has made it 2-0 at home against Exeter City in League One. So you're up to date. 5 Sports Extra live from Turf Moor. As swing and a miss from Leslie Ugachukwu. It's offside as Sunderland play the ball deeper into the Burnley half. So it is a Burnley free kick, 15 yards or so inside their own half. It was looking like Esteve might take it, but he's relinquished that duty for the captain, Josh Cullen, to take instead. Cullen, who's over 100 league appearances for Burnley since coming here in 2022. And that's a mistake at the back from Sunderland. Lyle Foster with the shot, with the goal. And it's been disallowed, is it? Huge appeals. No, it does stand. Lyle Foster scores from the left of the penalty area. Hannibal wasn't happy with something the referee did in that. They are surrounding the referee in the aftermath, but Foster from the left sends it past Robin Roots. Burnley off and running in their season. They've got the first goal, but VAR is going to check it. I don't think, Lyle Foster knew. Neither did the fans that goal had been ruled out. They're going to check it for a foul, Charlie Adam.
Yeah, no, it's a long ball from Cullen, and Anthony goes up and with Trey Hume there. Poor touch from Hume. I just think it's a bit harsh. It's a bit harsh. You've got to be a bit stronger than that. Celt's really done a good job with the referee there. There's not much in it there, isn't it?
So Lyle Foster clatters into the back of Sealt, trips him over and then goes through on goal with the ball. Right-footed finish into the far right-hand side of the goal. The goal has been ruled out and does not stand. So it is now Burnley 0, Sunderland 0.
Yeah, I think with VAR nowadays, but the referee, as soon as the foul was committed, the referee wanted to blow his whistle, but he knew that VAR is obviously there to help him, so he allowed it to play on, and that's why I think the Burnley fans were cheering. But I think it's a little bit harsh. I think he's done a good job in standing across Lyle Foster there, but it was a decent enough finish into the goal. But again, it just shows that that long ball is a wee bit of frailty at that back. If you don't want to don't defend properly, cause your own problems.
Simon Adingra has been booked for having a few little hands over Hannibal, and then I think he catches him in the face, and that's why the referee has booked Simon Adingra. That's over on this near side touchline. So the goal doesn't stand. For clarity, Lyle Foster comes in from behind on Jensen Sealt, and in tripping him up, then goes through on goal to score. So it was only temporary celebrations for Burnley. The fans thought it stood. Lyle Foster certainly did. He ran off over to the corner flag, and there was a little delay before VAR ruled the goal out. Sunderland have a man down here in the form of Ray Nil, though, and have a free kick.
Yeah, just Hannibal there just blocks Ronaldo's attempt to head the ball there and giving away a foul. But that was a little bit of momentum. The crowd's up now. They have to go and use that. Maybe get it in the corner. It's just a needless foul there from Hannibal. When the momentum, there's a little bit. The crowd were there with Burnley.
Uses his body, blocks off Reynildo. Free kick to Sunderland just away from the left corner of their penalty area. Burnley 0, Sunderland 0. 20 minutes played here at Turf Moor. Reminder on 5 Live Sport, you've got the goal service from Ian Dennis as he watches Brentford leading Aston Villa by a goal to 0. Sunderland with Reynildo, header infield from this near side, the left, for the Black Cats in this first half, and then it is Long ball up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Burnley headed away. Sunderland get hold of the second ball. Adingra just tries to poke it on through for Habib Diarra. He cuts it back in field, uses Siddiqui. Diarra then goes down, and no foul given. A goal kick to Burnley.
Ugochukwu was lucky, isn't he, there? I think it's a foul. He pulls him back. Diarra runs off the back of him, but again, just look at Burnley at the moment. They're getting a little bit overrun in midfield with that overload of three against two in there, and it's important that Hannibal, when he's not in possession, he drops back to help them, Cullen and Ugochukwu, just to try and match the numbers up. But Sunderland are going, they're going really aggressive in the press, and Mayenda there now telling Talby there, can you push on, can you really go and press Esteve if you can, but Hartman's taking them all the way back and making it a back five.
Yeah, they were a back five against Spurs last week. On paper, 4 at the back for Scott Parker's side this afternoon, but when Sunderland in attack, Burnley do put numbers behind the ball. A Burnley side that have lost their opening home game in the Premier League in 7 of the 9 seasons they have been in the top flight. They did beat Manchester United here in 2009. They beat Southampton in 2019. This year doesn't end in a 9, so maybe they're out of luck on that one, Burnley. But they are goalless at the minute, 0-0 against the Sunderland side, who last away game in the Premier League was a 5-1 loss at the then champions Chelsea. Javier Manquillo gave Sunderland the lead. They then lost 5-1. Willian equalised just 5 minutes after Sunderland went in front. A Sunderland side that featured Jordan Pickford, Jack Rodwell, Jolyon Lescott, John O'Shea and Sebastian Larsson. Names of yesteryear for sure. Sunderland in the centre circle.
Yeah, just looking at this Burnley, I know they've got it looks like in the team sheet there's a back 4, but it's actually a back 5 with Larsson just dropping back as the right back, and Kyle Walker comes in the inside to allow him to be able to jump to the pocket player that's running. So it's important that they two are communicating really well and there's no crossover.
Ugochukwu is just giving the ball away. Burnley only had Hannibal as their furthest man forward. He was midway inside the Burnley half when Sunderland turned over the play initially. Now they're back in possession, the Black Cats, trying to feed in. Siddiqui on the left of the penalty area, he can't, it's cleared away. Too many bodies back for a defensively set Burnley for now. They do have that impressive clean sheet record under Scott Parker. They don't concede many, only 16 conceded in the Championship last season. So 19% of the goals they conceded last year came in one game against Spurs on the opening day. In that 3-0 defeat, they will want to tighten up today, but they also need to show some form of attacking impetus. They've had the ball in the back of the net, ruled it for a foul by VAR. Here's Reynildo, left-hand side. Sunderland come forward again, midway inside Burnley's half. He turns it infield from the near side touchline. He'll get it back in a quick 1-2. He's played with Granit Xhaka there, who's just trying to keep the play going, keep the ball moving for Sunderland. He gets it just away from the left corner of the penalty area, gives it back out in between box and touchline for the cross that comes in from Adingra, headed away by Burnley. Nobody really there in a black shirt to capitalise. Xhaka brings it down, and then Alderete has it in the centre circle.
Yeah, good. For Burnley, this formation ends up the 5-4-1, and it'll feel that you can't get out, but as long as you control the spaces and you've got people in there, like you say, allowing Kyle Walker to be able to jump, or Esteve being able to go and get into Diarra or Siddiqui into that pocket, then you can jump and then they can narrow off. But that allows Larsson to then drop back as the right back. So it's really important that they communicate really well.
Adingra, left-hand side, goes early with the cross. It is drifting all the way across the 18-yard box and runs over towards the right-hand side. Trey Hume gives it to Xhaka, right corner of the penalty area. He lays it back this time for Sealt. Sealt then gives it to Xhaka, swings it in. Header from Mayenda. Well, he certainly stretched for it. It goes over him and behind for a goal kick. 25 minutes play. Burnley 0, Sunderland 0. Let's fill you in elsewhere. Bromley have equalised at Notts County in League 2. In the Scottish Premiership, Hearts behind against Motherwell. Kilmarnock had the ball in the back of the net, but Dundee had the ball in the back of the net, but that's been disallowed through VAR. In the Championship, Coventry City 2-0 up on QPR. In League 1, Burton Albion have the lead at Stockport County. League 2, Grimsby ahead at Accrington Stanley. And in the Championship, West Brom have just taken the lead at home to Portsmouth. Here 0-0 between Burnley and Sunderland. Burnley's opening home game of this new Premier League season, and it so far had the crowd in a little hush as Sunderland have started to control a lot more of the ball. They're in the centre circle at the minute, tried to be pushed out towards the left-hand side by Siddiqui. Challenged fairly. Now it's Burnley's turn to attack. How far up the field can they get? Not very far, as in steps Trey Hume, intercepts the ball that was running out towards the left-hand side. Burnley forced back into their own half.
Yeah, just watching Scott Parker telling his players, be calm on the ball. You know, can we get control of the game? Granit Xhaka, when he's on the ball at the moment, looks like he's enjoying himself being back in the Premier League. You know, strutting his stuff, you know, keeping it simple. So again, for Burnley, looking for Cullen, looking for Ugachukwu, Hannibal there, giving the ball away. But you need these type of players to be able to get on the ball and secure it for you, so the team feels good about themselves. And now they're looking to try and get some passes.
Yeah, I was talking about how Burnley's mentality will have to change this year. Such a successful season in the Championship. The expectation was to win every game, it was to be promoted. Now they know this year is about survival, and he says the players have to understand what the journey looks like. Sunderland have spoken in amongst the fan base, in amongst the media, that 17th is their target. They want another season in the Premier League, and for Burnley it has to be the same.
Absolutely, and I think with Scott, I think he's more pragmatic, and they understand the work that's going to be needed to stay up in the Premier League. It's a different animal, isn't it, the Premier League? We've seen that last week for Burnley against Tottenham. But I think the football club will have learned from the previous experience under Vincent Kompany in terms of the signings they made and the way they're going to go, and they know that they're going to have to be hard to beat, and they're going to have to be really aggressive and defensive at times, and they can't be so open and exposed to the way they were the last time.
Reynildo just crossed the ball in early from the left-hand side. It was looking for Diarra. Diarra's head didn't go in the direction he wanted, in fact in the opposite direction, and went further over to the touchline than it did closer and deeper into the penalty area of Burnley. 0-0, 27.5 minutes played. Kyle Walker and Ekdal just interchange some passes between themselves as Stev gets involved. That's the back line complete, with Hartman also getting a touch there for Burnley, who have this ball at walking pace, just slowly knocking it closer towards the edge of the centre circle. They're still really at the midway point of their own half. Hartman under a bit of pressure from Diarra, has to go back to his goalkeeper Martin Dubravka.
Yeah, good build up from Burnley, really composed. That's a brilliant pass from Ugachukwu through the lines to Lau Foster.
And now Jaden Anthony just trying to get Burnley deeper into the Sunderland half. Here's Ugachukwu with the blonde tipped hair of his, with the braids, and now Lyle Foster, just a little push out to the left-hand side of the box for Jaden Anthony himself, gets a little push in the back. It's all fair though for now, as Burnley with Ugachukwu just play it lazily out to the left of the penalty, and that just allowed Sunderland to get in there, and the pass didn't have enough on it from Ugachukwu, and Sunderland were able to intercept. Here's Ekdal in the centre circle as Burnley go again. Kyle Walker right-hand touchline, 0-0 the score with nearly 29 minutes play. Clipped up by Hannibal, looking for Foster, who almost seemed to arm that into the Sunderland penalty. There would have been another one for VAR to check if anything had come from it. It's a comfortable catch in the end for Robin Reeves.
Yeah, good little play from Burnley there, you know, getting there. That pass over there for Lyle Foster actually runs past it and maybe it hits his shoulder, but good play from Esteve into Lyle Foster, bounces off and get up the pitch. But Ugachukwu turned the ball over and the momentum sort of gone a little bit, but you know, good play from Burnley again, getting into that 5-4-1, waiting on Sunderland to try and break through the press and the line, and then, you know, waiting for a trigger really for them Burnley to go and press.
Mansfield 2-0 up on Leyton Orient. Wimbledon have the lead against Barnsley, both of those in League One this afternoon. In the Championship, Kiefer Moore's got his second of the afternoon as Wrexham leads Sheffield Wednesday, much troubled Sheffield Wednesday by 2-0. Sunderland across the centre circle from the left to the right in their black shirts, shorts and socks. They are right to left in this opening 45 minutes, of which quarter of an hour remains. Two big chances for them. Burnley have had the ball in the back of the net, but it was ruled out for a foul in the build-up to that goal by Lyle Foster, who scored, or at least thought he'd scored, and ran off celebrating. Some confusion. Hannibal certainly recognised the referee had called it as a foul immediately. The rest of the Burnley squad and the fans less so. Xhaka, left-footed, drifting ball out towards the far side, just bounces awkwardly in front of Talby, whose control was difficult. Comes out with a throw-in for his side. but it just was an awkward bounce, and it just meant he couldn't keep the momentum going.
Yeah, no, a decent switch of play from Xhaka there, but Hartman was out quick there to put pressure onto Talby there, didn't allow him to get his head up, and he got the throw in Talby. But Burnley are happy to have Sunderland let them have the ball, getting their 5-4-1 and waiting for the trigger to then press, which Scott will have told his players, this is the moment when we press. If it's a switch or pass goes backwards, we're squeezing the line. So it's been a decent enough start from Burnley in terms of out of possession.
Sunderland were lining up the long throw. They chose to go short in the end. Now the cross does come in from the right hand side. Mayenda got blocked off. It allows Dubravka to just step a yard or so off his line, catch the ball in two hands, and he was at fault last week for the 8-second distribution, giving Spurs an early corner in that game. The first time we saw that rule implemented in the Premier League, he knew, and he was very conscious there, quickly to try and distribute the ball away from his 18-yard box.
That's an incredible new rule, isn't it? But
are you a fan?
No, I don't. I think we make rules up for making rules up. You know, let's say going away from home and you work so hard for 90 odd minutes, 95, 96 minutes against one of the big teams, or even like Arsenal going to Manchester United last week, you work so hard to get the result, and something like that goes against you. It's incredible. But they want speed of play, they want the play to be quicker, which is fair enough. But yeah, disappointed to see it. But
I think it's which side of the fence you're on, isn't it? If you're the winning team at that point, you want to hold on to it.
Absolutely.
If you're the losing team at that moment in time, you want to make sure you can keep the ball for as long as possible. 0-0 here at Turf Moor. Mild afternoon in Lancashire. Ugachukwu got space here, 25 yards out left of the D. Took a little time to get his shot away. Allowed Sunderland to fly in with the challenge on the edge of the box. The ball takes a double deflection. I think it was sealed with the block.
Yeah, sealed with a block, but I think it's actually a corner. It's good play from Ugachukwu. Yeah, it's a corner kick.
It was actually Alderete, wasn't it? Stretching with that left boot. Yeah, it comes off Alderete, back onto Ugachukwu, and it is a goal kick as the ball flew over the bar. 0-0 it remains. Sunderland use Seal with the goal kick this time. Plays it short to Robin Roos, who then himself gives it back to Seal, and Sunderland are looking forward. It's a good little push of the shoulder from Diarra to create himself some space and shrug off the Burnley challenge. Now Adingra with that little blonde streak in his hair. Runs into a bit of traffic. Ball ricochets back to Reynildo, and now out towards this left-hand side for Siddiqui. Reynildo involved again, a little bit of triangular passing for Sunderland, involving Granit Xhaka as well. Right-footed curling ball in, looking for the run of Siddiqui. Burnley have to be careful inside their own 6-yard box here with Kyle Walker wrapping a right boot around the ball, getting it up towards the halfway line. Sunderland will be first to it, but themselves in sending it back into Burnley territory give it away, but then so do Burnley, and Sunderland in possession again as Adingra has the ball. Now Diarra, the VAR decision on Lyle Foster's goal, and it's been flashed up on the big screen. The referee's call for no goal following the foul by Foster on Seal was checked and confirmed by VAR, it reads, with it deemed that Seal was clearly tripped from behind.
That's good. I like that. At least the referees give it obviously explanation, and they've come out, and the fans can now see the reasons why. Like anything, some fans will agree, some don't. But no, I think it's good, clear information where the decision was made. But again, I like that sort of three in midfield of Sunderland at the moment. With Siddiqui, with Diarra and Xhaka, experienced player, but he's got good energy, good legs next to him where they can go and get after the ball for the team and really be aggressive in the press. But there is times where Burnley have been able to play through them.
Maybe they can do the same now. The Clarets spreading the play out towards the right hand side. Jakob Brun-Larsen, number 7 on his back, lays it back to Kyle Walker. Quick 1-2 between him and Ugachukwu. Now Brun-Larsen continues his run on the right hand side. The cross is in towards the back post. Trying to race onto it was Kalinchy Hartman, who couldn't get there, and it goes out of play for a Sunderland throw. 0-0.
Yeah, decent play from Burnley there again. Walker plays 1-2 and then sliding in Brun-Larsen, but again Hartman just too late there, and the ball goes out for the throw in. But good little interplay from Burnley, and let's say hopefully they can start asking more of that backline of Sunderland.
In League 2, Notts County back in front against Bromley. Stockport County down to 10. Brad Hills has only just signed for the club after a loan spell last season from Norwich. He's been sent off at Edgeley Park. Bristol Rovers lead Cambridge United by a 0-0 in League 2. In the Championship, Coventry City have got a third against struggling QPR. That brings you up to date on 5 Sports Extra. At half-time, we'll be joining 5 Live Sport and the team, Mark Chapman and the team, to take you around the grounds and give you all the latest from the Premier League and the Football League. 0-0 here with 10 minutes to half-time. Burnley have a free kick on the left-hand side, which Josh Cullen is over. It won't be one that's sent into the penalty area. It's only 10 yards or so inside the Sunderland half, and it's knocked back into Burnley's half anyway.
Yeah, the job that Josh Cullen actually does for Burnley has been incredible over the last number of years he's been here. The little second balls he picks up, getting fouls, always being in the right place at the right time, keeps the ball moving for the team. Was instrumental in terms of when Vincent Kompany was one of his first signings. He coming in because he worked with him at Anderlecht, a young player coming through at West Ham, but wonderful footballer, being able to get on the ball, control the game, but leads by example, and that's ultimately why he's become the captain of the football club. But you don't realise that you go under the radar, these type of players that go and get you fouls and get you up the pitch and drive your team forward. So he'll be a big player for Burnley this year again.
10 years since his Premier League debut, Josh Cullen, when he was a West Ham player. A 3-0 win at Anfield against Liverpool. Has tasted victory over Sunderland in the playoffs before when he was at Charlton as well. In the League One campaign that Sunderland had to wait another year in the third tier of English football. But here they are, back in the top flight after an 8-year absence. Impressive start last week at home to West Ham. Now can they back it up against Burnley this afternoon? 0-0 the score. Coventry City have now got a 4th against QPR. Mansfield have been pegged back by Leyton Orient 2-1 there. Sheffield United struggling at the foot of the Championship table, yet to win under Ruben Sellers. They're 1-0 down at home to Millwall as well, so that keeps you up to date. Here's a Gachuku with a bit of space to run forward in. I don't think he realised it at first, but now gets Burnley up towards the halfway line inside the centre circle. The Clarets left to right in this opening 45 minutes, of which 8 minutes remain. Poor pass down the right from Brun Larsen. He holds up a hand in apology to Hannibal, and that will be a Sunderland throw midway inside their own half. Yeah, again, disappointing there from Brun Larsen, just giving the ball away, but good battle there between Alderete and Hannibal, just really nitty gritty against each other, looking to try and fight and scrap and make it horrible for each other. But it's been a good game, and even though it's 0-0, two teams having a go, still wanting to go forward, and Sunderland haven't sat back as the away team. Burnley have tried to get after Sunderland as the home team, so it's been decent enough entertainment. Some of those fans heading for their half-time refreshments in the Burnley end. Anyway, the Sunderland fans were a moment ago, had their hands clapping above their heads as their team turned it out towards the right-hand side. Both managers sat down in their dugout for now as Sunderland come forward with a little bit of space for Diarra to operate, and he's waiting for the overlap as well. The low cross comes in from the right-hand side, cut off at source by Maxime Esteve. Here's Xhaka looking for that run that he finds out on the right-hand side. Hume will take a touch this time, crosses it in right-footed, it arcs away from the players in the black shirts of Sunderland. No, in Mayenda, it was well past him, and it arced behind Seaman Adingra as well. Here's Alderete under a bit of pressure from Hannibal, who is looking sharp. Looks like he's up for a battle this afternoon, Hannibal, it has to be said. Yeah, absolutely, that's what he is. I think he's a very good player, but he likes to get in amongst it, and he wants to get in about people, and there again Alderete gave him a chance, didn't he, to try and nick it, but it's been a good battle between the two, and Kyle Walker using experience there when the cross comes in. He just nudged Adingra out the way, and the ball goes through the pitch there again. Hannibal and Alderete at it again. This time Hannibal just cranes his neck very quickly, very reactionary, and it heads it out for a Sunderland throw-in on the halfway line, near side their left as we look at it. Hannibal just had a few words to Alderete. Yeah, he's just trying to wind him up. He's just trying to come on then, let's go, what have you got? It's but it's good. I think I like that. You want to try, and what you're trying to do is get an advantage over your opponent. Can he handle that? Can he lose concentration for that moment that might give Burnley the opportunity? Mayenda sent through on the right hand side. It comes after Cullen played a pass back that bounced off Esteve and then into Sunderland possession. Mayenda right hand side, close to the byline, goes down. No foul given. He did have half a look towards the referee, who's just got an arm out here to say, hold on, we'll check for a possible penalty. No, Burnley might have a goal kick. Yeah, Mayenda's gone far too easy there. He's tried to buy the penalty there, but it's definitely not a penalty. The referee has retreated away from the 18-yard box, and it was a Stev who collided with Mayenda. Nothing in it for Charlie Adam, nothing in it for the VAR officials either. John Brooks, assisted by Gary Bezic this afternoon in Stockley Park. Header forward over the halfway line from Sunderland. It comes back into their territory though. Hannibal on the chase. Alderete stabs it away back into the Burnley half. Jaden Anthony on the stretch on the halfway line to try and control that pacey ball, and it runs out for another Sunderland throw. Burnley 0, Sunderland 0. Burnley, who had 11 0-0 draws last year in the Championship. It was 0-0 between this pair when they met in the second tier of English football. Burnley going up automatically. Sunderland had to do it via the playoffs and are enjoying life back in England's top flight after a game and a half.
It was an incredible standard, wasn't it, by the top two really last year, Leeds and Burnley, over 100 points, and then for Sunderland to be so far ahead within the playoffs to, probably last 6 weeks of the season fell away a little bit, and everybody was saying, is that going to be the end for Sunderland? But the manager and the players, they picked themselves up and done a brilliant job to get through the playoffs. And like I say, it's been 8 years since they've been in the Premier League, and they've been through a lot of issues through the years, haven't they, over that 8 years as well, with different owners and that, but it look like they've got a good owner now.
Might get a bit of joy. The long range shot from 20 yards out, low driven wide of the right hand post from Granit Xhaka, who shakes his head as he walks away. He knows he should have hit that cleaner, hit that better from the edge of the penalty area on the right of the D, drives it low, well wide of the right hand post.
Yeah, he's dragged it there, Granit Xhaka. You'd expect him to do better, the quality that he has, and he's just dragged it as it come over his body.
Birmingham 1-0 up at home to Oxford United in the Championship. In League One, Reading have got an equaliser at Wycombe Wanderers. A little bit of a derby that. Coventry now have 5 in the first half against QPR. Jack Radoni with the goal there, and Norwich City behind against Middlesbrough, who had won 3 from 3 at the start of the Championship season. They now lead. Oldham Athletic have equalised at Fleetwood Town, so it's 1-1 there in League 2. 0-0 here with little over 2 minutes of the first 45 remaining. Can't imagine we'll have too much added time. A few VAR checks will give us maybe a couple of minutes. Sunderland in possession, in control, large amounts of possession in this game. They've had the 2 best chances as well, 2 best legal chances. Burnley had the ball in the back of the net that was ruled out. If you want to listen back to that Lyle Foster chance, you can. BBC Sounds app is the place you can do that. This season, 5 Live Sports Extra and BBC Sound's going to bring you over 200 Premier League games. Arsenal Leeds comes at 5:30 on 5 Live Sport. Everton's first match in their new stadium on Sunday, followed by Fulham against Manchester United. It goes beyond the live games as well. Brand new shows. The Wayne Rooney Show drops every Friday and every Monday, with Kelly Summers and Kay Kurd on hand to discuss the big stories alongside the former England captain and former Manchester United man Wayne Rooney. And we're also at the start of the Women's Rugby World Cup as well. That got underway last night. Big win for England. Australia have followed that up this lunchtime. You can follow all the games on BBC Sport. A minute to half time, of normal time anyway, and Burnley with De Bruyne inside his 6-yard box. He rolled it low and short to Kyle Walker inside the penalty area. Now has to hack it long. Granit Xhaka intercepts, but then stealing him from behind is Jaden Anthony, and Burnley set themselves forward here with Hannibal on the right hand side. Can they end the first half strongly? Players over on the left. If Hannibal can see it, he's not. They win the ball back though from Sunderland's interception. Here's Brun Larsen, corner of the penalty area, right hand side, right footed crossing, headed away by Sealt, and it's up towards the halfway line. Burnley with a Stev knock it back to De Bruyne.
Yeah, again, Burnley good playing there. Xhaka taking his time, not seeing that Lyle Foster is actually behind him there, taking a poor touch, and Lyle Foster nipping in, but Burnley getting up the pitch there and let's say finishing the half at a decent level, and half time just coming now.
2 quick goals for Reading, so they're now 2-1 up at Wycombe in League One, and 2 quick goals for Middlesbrough. Tommy Conway scored in the Championship, so they're 2-0 up away at Norwich. All the half times coming in. We'll be joining Mark Chapman and the team over on 5 Live Sport when we hit the break here. But we've got 4 minutes of added time to go first. Can anyone head into the tunnel at half time with a lead? And in these games, tight, between Burnley and Sunderland, as they have been throughout their recent games. Might just be going the same way. The last time these two met in the Premier League was 2016-17 season. Both were relegated that season. Burnley won 4-1 here at Turf Moor. Andre Gray hat-trick, Ashley Barnes scored the fourth. Sunderland's consolation came through Jermaine Defoe. Here's Adingra, left-hand side for Sunderland, just cantering closer to the penalty area. Now tries the reverse pass through. Doesn't quite work out. They'll get a second bite at this Sunderland. This one's a deeper cross that is trying to be controlled in one sweeping motion and pass through to Mayenda, unsuccessfully so. It'll come back out towards the left-hand side for Reynildo. Short pass 10 yards or so further forward for Adingra. Xhaka tries to get involved, clatters into Jayden Anthony.
He's actually tried to header the ball on the floor there, Xhaka, but just showing what he wants to do and put his body on the line. It'd have been easy for him to step by Leverkusen and playing in the Bundesliga, but to come to a relegation battle, really, isn't it, for Sunderland so far? Hopefully, well, this year it could possibly be, but I think they've invested well. But he feels like the project is good for him, and again, a good experience in there. I think he'll be a good leader in there, and he'll have learned from his past experience of being at Arsenal and, you know, the problems he had sometimes on the pitch. You know, he's got to lead this group now. He's got to be the one that everybody can rely on, and, you know, he could be at the forefront of everything that they do in the Premier League this year.
Raji Labrie said that he decided Xhaka was going to be the captain of Sunderland within 10 minutes of seeing him in training. He said he knew very quickly that Xhaka was the man from the midfield to help Sunderland in this fight this season. Although saying that, if they do win this afternoon, they'll be top of the Premier League with 2 wins from 2, alongside Spurs, who beat Manchester City earlier 2-0 at the Etihad Stadium. So City's 100% record goes. Liverpool, of course, could follow on
cracker on Monday night, isn't
2 wins from 2. Newcastle, with all the stories of Isak going around as well.
Yeah.
Isak won't be involved in that game. Whether he has any future involvement in Newcastle, we'll wait to be seen. Burnley in the centre circle here, a world away from £110 million signings. Walker, who cost £5 million, on the right of the centre circle, sweeps it across. Here's Esteve. We have little over a minute remaining of the first half added time. 4 minutes were shown, we've nearly had 3 of those. Foster chased it down by the corner flag on the far side, lays it back to Anthony. Here's Cullen, just turns back out towards that far side. Hartman loses out under pressure from Trey Hume in that far corner. Burnley's left-hand side. A little slip there from Josh Cullen, who thinks he was tripped. It looked more of a slip to me. Sunderland have it back, just knock it into their own penalty area. The ball dead at the feet of Jensen Seelt. Hannibal wins it back though, as it's played out towards the far side touchline. Now he's on a charge through into the penalty area, but the ball got stuck close to his feet and he couldn't feed it through for Lyle Foster. Sunderland give it away again though. Burnley pressure. Walker on the right hand side, lets the ball run across his body and then out towards the near side touchline for Jakob Brun-Larsen. Here's Jayden Anthony, most of this half spent on the left hand side. He's now operating down the middle. Can Burnley find a shot with only seconds remaining in this first half? 0-0. Cullen down the middle uses Hannibal. Hannibal just plays it back towards the edge of the centre circle. Burnley don't look in a rush here to get this ball into the penalty area. Now it's the long ball forward. Hannibal will challenge with Alderete. Ball runs on through to Brun-Larsen on the right hand side. Hannibal on the overlap, flicks the ball around him, left footed cross in towards the back post, and the header is wide. Fractionally from Jayden Anthony. Well, it was patient in the build-up play. There goes the half-time whistle, but patience nearly paid off. Close header for Burnley. It goes behind. It means at half-time it is Burnley 0, Sunderland 0. Charlie Allen.
Yeah, really good play from Hannibal there, swinging the ball in with his left foot, and Jayden Anthony just goes to try and head it, and he just puts it past the post. But good play from Burnley, not risking the ball, just keeping it simple, waiting for that opportunity to open up there, and it did with Hannibal on this right hand side, left foot cross, and Jayden Anthony, we expected himself to do a little bit better than he did. But I think it's been a good half for 0-0. I think both teams have had moments, and it's been good energy to the game.
Sunderland certainly had the early chances. Mayenda, close range half volley from him. Talby chips it over Dubravka, but wide of the right hand post. As for Burnley, Lyle Foster had the ball in the back of the net, but that was ruled out for a foul in the build-up, and then that header from Jayden Anthony. So it is 0-0. Who maybe has edged it? Charlie Adam for you.
I think the big moments Sunderland should have had them. Obviously, Burnley have had that goal with the disallowed goal, but I think Sunderland have had the big chances, haven't they? When Talby goes through and he puts it past the post, and also the header knocked down as well. It was a good save from Dubravka. So I would sort of say that Sunderland they're just edged on the chances, but Burnley have had really good moments with the ball. I think they could play forward a little bit quicker and more, but again, it's been a good game, good entertaining game for a 0-0.
We'll see if the entertainment in terms of Burnley and Sunderland providing us with a little bit of action can extend to goals in the second half. Burnley 0, Sunderland 0 at the break. Let's rejoin Mark Chapman and the 5 Live Sport team.
And we are now inside the last 50 seconds of this first half. Here is Buendia, no flag. Buendia scoops it, headed on by Torres. Rodgers is there, Vandenberg. Torres goes in and catches Henderson. That looked a painful one. He was on the stretch, Pau Torres, and he absolutely clattered into Henderson, who's not moved since going to ground.
Brave from Henderson, and needed it because Brentford had just stopped momentarily. They thought there was an offside flag coming. There wasn't. There should have been, really, because Matt Cash was offside. Gets involved in the play. He actually touches the ball, so he definitely does get involved. I don't know why it wasn't flagged, but from that point, just needed to put the bodies on the line for the umpteenth time in this first half. It's been such an attritional half.
I tell you what, I'm offering a personalised goal service for you with updates of Hartlepool 2, Woking 0. They've got a second goal.
Stop now.
And I'm now doing the half-time reports, which really should be Mark Chapman's job, but we'll go to Burnley and Julia Bold.
It's finished, it's half-time, Burnley 0, Sunderland 0. Lyle Foster looked to have got Burnley's first Premier League goal. It was wiped out by VAR, though, a foul on Jensen Seelt in the build-up. So goalless at the break, Burnley 0, Sunderland 0.
Rest assured you won't catch me presenting Match of the Day.
OK, well, it's Waterford Ducks that for Chappers. It's back in the seat again, and just a slightly bigger spotlight last week, wasn't it?
Was it? I didn't notice.
No.
Henderson is back on his feet and is getting the applause as he is forced to go over on that far side. The 7 minutes of added on time are up, so this is just going to be those extra 30-odd seconds which Kelleher will clear away downfield. The one goal separates the two sides, and it is Ouattara on his debut for Brentford with the only goal of the game after 13 minutes that gives them the advantage. They have had another goal since disallowed as Schade rises in the air, looks for the flick on towards Thiago, cleared away by Tyrone Mings, and there is the half-time whistle. Your quick thoughts, Rob Green?
Yeah, brilliant from Brentford. They're with them, they're with the manager. The work rate was there. They've made it their game, they've made it a scrap. They're going long early. That's where they got the goal from. They'll continue to do that. There's a lot of energy being put out there, not a lot of quality.
But half-time here at the GTEC Community Stadium. Brentford 1, Aston Villa 0.
So elsewhere, Burnley 0, Sunderland 0, Bournemouth 1, Wolves 0. Earlier, final score from the Etihad, Manchester City 0, Tottenham 2. Earlier in the Championship, Charlton 0, Leicester 1. Hull 0, Blackburn 3, Swansea 1, Watford 1. Let's start our 3 o'clock half-time reports at Carrow Road, where Middlesbrough's 100% record looks like it will continue. Chris Coles.
Courtesy, Mark, of a blistering 2 minutes right at the end of the half. They lead Norwich by 2-0, and half Norwich dominated, missing numerous chances, but then bang, bang. Firstly, Finn Azaz, powerful shot into the front post, followed by a Tommy Conway tap-in with the Norwich defence nowhere to be seen. Norwich 0, Middlesbrough 2.
Mind you, performance of the afternoon so far in the Championship comes from Coventry. Nathan.
Yes, no place like home for Coventry. 5-0 they lead QPR on the day Cov announced they've bought the CBS Arena for themselves. It has been bouncing, Mark. 2 from Haji Wright, 2 from Jack Rodoni, and a goal and 2 assists for Brandon Thomas Asante. The worrying thing for QPR, mind, there's still 45 minutes to play. Half-time, Coventry 5, QPR 0.
Next to St Mary's, Sahel Sahi.
Half-time, Southampton 0, Stoke 0. A closely fought 45 minutes, neither side stamping their authority on the other. Stoke with more control, while Southampton twice through 18-year-old Jay Robinson they've hit the post. Half-time here, Southampton 0, Stoke 0.
West Brom's 100% record is continuing as things stand. John Bennett.
Yes, thanks to Mikey Johnston. West Bromwich Albion 1, Portsmouth 0. A cracking goal after being recalled to the starting 11. Carried the ball to the edge of the box, fired a shot across the goalkeeper who didn't move. Florian Bianchini had one big chance for Portsmouth, but West Brom the better side, on course for 3 wins out of 3. West Brom 1, Portsmouth 0.
1-0 at the Hawthorns, 1-0 at St Andrews. Pat Murphy.
Peg 5 minutes before half-time. Sideford again, 15 yards. Should have been more. Fuhurashi missed 2 sitters. Brannigan at the other end for stubborn, but Oxford nearly pulled one back. Birmingham 1, Oxford 0.
We lumped the Sheffield teams together in our pre-match previews because they both had difficult starts to the season. It continues. Sheffield United behind at the break. Naz Premji.
Yes, Sheffield United 0, Millwall 1. The visitors deservedly ahead. Luke Cundle in the box, fired past Michael Cooper after a great flick from Mihailo Ivanovic. Cundle also saw a long-range effort tipped over. Josh Coburn right on half-time, an amazing run and shot which was turned behind. Sheffield United booed off, deservedly so. They've been atrocious. Sheffield United 0, Millwall 1.
Also, not a good first half for Wednesday either. Stephen Wyeth.
Now, a first half to sum up where these clubs are currently at, Mark. Sheffield Wednesday can scarcely put a functioning 11 on the field. Wrexham can add a striker of Kiefer Moore's quality to their team. His first 2 goals for the club, both poachers finishes. The difference between the teams, he even came close to scoring a hat-trick. In between his goals, Charlie McNeil came close for Wednesday during their best spell in the game, but as things stand, it looks like Wrexham's first win at this level for 43 years. They lead 2-0.
Preston also lead at the break. They're at home to Ipswich. Osmaic from the penalty spot. That's his 3rd of the season. Preston 1, Ipswich 0. Earlier in League One, Luton 0, Cardiff 1, Rotherham 2, Wigan 2. We're with the leaders Stevenage this afternoon at Huddersfield. Andy Sixsmith.
Huddersfield 0, Stevenage 0. Tight game. Chappers' best chances falling to the Terriers, with Alfie May denied twice by Philip Marshall, who's also been penalised for holding onto the ball for longer than 8 seconds. But you know, not much has happened when having seen mascot Terry the Terrier once at the break. Huddersfield 0, Stevenage 0.
Elsewhere in League One, AFC Wimbledon lead 3rd place Barnsley by a goal to 0. Matty Stevens with the goal. That's 3 for the season for him. Bolton 0, Lincoln 1. Mansfield a 2-1 up on Leyton Orient. Regan Hendry got both the Mansfield goals. Josh Koroma with his 3rd of the season, pulling one back for Richie Whellan's side. Northampton are 2-0 up on Exeter at the break. That's their first goals in 5 in all competitions. Ethan Wheatley on loan from Manchester United, and Max Dyche, Sean's son, have got the goals for Kevin Nolan's side. Peterborough 0, Bradford 0, Plymouth 0, Blackpool 0, Port Vale 0, Doncaster 0. Stockport are behind at the break to Burton, and it's worse for them as well because they've had Brad Hill sent off for a professional foul. Stockport 0, Burton 1, and Reading have turned things round at Wickham. They've gone from 1-0 down to 2-1 up at the break. Earlier in League 2, Newport 1, MK Dons 2, Walsall 1, Salford 0. How are the leaders' Crew doing at Gillingham? Mike Williams.
They're not capitalising on their dominance in this first half, Mark. Captain Mickey Dimitriou's header coming off the bar. Connor Thomas's close range effort ruled out for offside. It is goalless at the break. Josh Andrews with Gillingham's only shot on target. Remember, Crew can make it 5 wins from 5 with a win here, but they'll have to step it up in the second half. It's 0-0.
Grimsby are chasing them down at the top of the table. They've got Manchester United in the League Cup this week, and it's going well for them this afternoon. The leader, Accrington, by a goal to 0. Jace Cabbier's 4th of the season. The difference between the two sides there, it's Bristol Rovers 1, Cambridge 0, Cheltenham 0, Barnet 0. Colchester, who haven't won at home this season, are behind again after the first 45 minutes to Barrow. Colchester 0, Barrow 1, Crawley 0, Tranmere 0, Fleetwood 1, Oldham 1. It's Harrogate 0, Chesterfield 1. Notts County lead Bromley by 2 goals to 1. Matt Dennis has got both of those goals, 4 for the season for him. And Swindon lead Shrewsbury by a goal to 0. Aaron Drinan with his 2nd of the season. The difference between the two sides there. In the National League, earlier, Morecambe's first game of the season, they beat Altrincham 2-1 with a winner coming in the 8th minute of second half stoppage time at 3 o'clock. The half times, Brackley 1, Rochdale 0, Braintree 0, Yeovil 0, Eastleigh 0, Boston 0, Halifax 1, Forest Green 1, Gateshead lead Tamworth 1-0, Hartlepool are 2-0 up on Woking, Solihull Moors 0, Aldershot 2, Sutton 1, Scunthorpe 1, and Truro 0, Southend 0. In the Scottish Premiership, Hearts 0, Motherwell 1, Kilmarnock 0, Dundee 0 at half-time. And at Celtic, Ailey Barber...
Goalless here, and the natives are restless. Celtic with all the ball but unable to break down Livy's compact backline. The best chance came right before the break. Yang's diving header superbly tipped onto the underside of the bar and out. Rodgers doesn't want to go to the bench with a trip to Kazakhstan to come, but he might need to because his side are looking a little blunt. At the break, Celtic 0, Livingston 0.
In the Scottish Championship, Adrionians 0, Queen's Park 0. Morton lead Ayr by a goal to 0. It's Ross County 0, Partick Thistle 1, and St Johnstone will be going to the top of the table as they lead Arbroath by a goal to 0. In League One, Alloa 0, Hamilton 0, East Fife 1, Kelty Hearts 1, Montrose 0, Inverness 2, Peterhead 2, Cove Rangers 0. Goalless between Stenhousemuir and Queen of the South. In League 2, Annan 0, Dumbarton 2, Elgin 0, Edinburgh City 2. Goalless between Spartans and Forfar. Stirling 1, East Kilbride 3, and Stranraer 1, Clyde 1. Earlier in the Scottish Women's Premier League, Aberdeen 0, Glasgow City 1. At the Women's Rugby Union World Cup earlier, Australia 73, Samoa 0. They are, 15 minutes into the second half between Scotland and Wales. Maz Faruqi.
Yeah, we played 53 minutes and it's been a sparkling World Cup opener so far for Scotland wing Fran McGee. Her hat-trick try, Scotland's fourth try of this match, converted by Helen Nelson. And there is work to do for Wales now in a match. Remember, both sides really feel they need to win to try and progress to the knockout stages, with Canada the big dogs really in Pool B. The pressure is on them and Scotland lead Wales 24-8.
Let's switch our attentions to the cricket. Earlier in the 100, Northern Superchargers women beat Oval Invincibles, and the Northern Superchargers men have set a big total here at Headingley. Nikesh Ragani.
Yeah, batting first. They've set the Invincibles 199 for victory. Some fabulous hitting from them earlier on. Harry Brooks starring with 56 from 27 balls. David Miller with some massive hits towards the end, 37 not out from 16. Good contributions from David Milan and Zach Crawley at the top of the order as well. But the Invincibles have got their chase underway well. They've already hit a couple of boundaries. They're 10 without loss after 4 balls.
Can Southern Braves women keep up their 100% record in the competition? Stephen Finn.
Yeah, well, they're looking good at the moment. They won the toss, bowled first here at Lords, and they restricted the London Spirit to 125 for 8. Lauren Bell only conceding 18 from her 20 balls, and Maddie Villiers taking 3 wickets. And in reply, they've just lost Danny Wyatt Hodge to a close LBW call that was overturned on field to make it out and see the back of her. But the Brave currently are 15 for 1 after 10 balls and looking good to maintain their winning streak.
Matt Fitzpatrick looking good at the British Masters. Ian Carter.
Yes, he is. He's just chipped in for an eagle at the par 5 15th, and that has propelled him to the top of the leaderboard. 12 under par, 1 ahead of the clubhouse leader. That's Alex Norrin, who carded a 65 that included an eagle at the 17th. The star of the day, though, Marco Penge. Is he making a late dash for the Ryder Cup team? He won last week in Denmark. He's equalled the course record today with his 63, and at 10 under is just 2 behind.
4:05, you're listening to BBC Radio 5 Live on a Saturday afternoon. Carl Hartley has your news.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live. Thanks, Mark. Police have had to separate anti-immigration and anti-racism protesters who have clashed at various demonstrations across the country. Dozens of protests have been organised against hotels being used to house asylum seekers. Reform UK has announced plans for mass deportations of asylum seekers arriving in small boats if they get into power. It's understood it would involve leaving the European Convention on Human Rights and scrapping the Human Rights Act. 3 people are in a life-threatening condition after a suspected arson attack in East London. Another 2 were injured in the fire at a restaurant in Ilford. And the Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza say 61 people have died in the territory in the past 24 hours, including 8 from malnutrition. Palestinian media say an Israeli attack on a displacement camp in the southern city of Khan Yunis killed 19 people.
After 4 punishing weeks...
Oh my God, I'm actually excited.
13 players have been on the adventure of a lifetime.
Judging by how the game's gone, they should be pretty worried.
But it all comes down to one final question. Where the X are we?
My eyes are now open to how everyone is playing the game.
Go get real. Destination X, the final. This Thursday on BBC iPlayer.
This
Well, welcome back to Turf Moor, where players are just coming out of the tunnel after half-time. Burnley 0, Sunderland 0. In a battle between two sides in the Championship last season, and two sides who had contrasting opening weekends. Sunderland's big win over West Ham, Burnley's big defeat against Tottenham. And here, playing level. Two big chances for Sunderland in the first half, and one at the end of the first half for Burnley, who've also had the ball in the back of the net, ruled out for a foul in the build-up by Lyle Foster on Jensen Seelt. So that was ruled out and gave Burnley some brief hope. Took a bit of time for clarity, but we got there in the end. The replay certainly showed that it was probably a right decision. So we still await the breakthrough in what feels like an important game for Burnley, knowing what's to come, knowing the game's on the horizon. Manchester United at Old Trafford next Saturday, and then Liverpool, Nottingham Forest and Manchester City all to come before the end of September. And for Sunderland, it's a favourable start, beating West Ham on the opening day, Brentford at home next week, and Palace, Villa and Forest all before the end of September as well. So a full start on the restart. We go again. Sunderland get us going through Granit Xhaka. Burnley the home side, as fans start to filter in from the concourses after their half-time refreshments. Burnley in their claret shirts, white shorts and sky blue socks are from left to right in the second 45 minutes. Sunderland all in black are from Sunderland are left to right, Burnley right to left. No changes by either side at the break. I'll run you through the two teams in full when we get the chance to do so. Sunderland forced into an early change in the first half when star man Dan Ballard went off with what looks like some form of leg injury, received a bit of treatment, came back on, quickly decided that he couldn't continue, and so Jensen Seelt replaced him. And Burnley have a throw-in, trying to get things going pretty quickly. Scott Parker gave the ball to Kyle Walker, who galloped down the touchline a little bit, didn't have the option, so stalls that run, now launches it down the right-hand touchline, the far side for Burnley. Here's Ugachukwu, and back into centre circles. Burnley and Sunderland pretty level in possession, as we saw in the half-time statistics. Couple of shots each. Sunderland the only one to have an official shot on target. Former Premier League midfielder Charlie Adam alongside me.
Yeah, a lovely ball there from Esteve. Switch of play out to Larson.
Now Ugachukwu, 20 yards out, right-footed curling ball goes right behind the three Burnley players in the penalty area. And Hartman picks it up, he gets it back into the 18-yard box, lovely flick as well, and there's a chance for Cullen, who nestles it into the bottom right-hand corner. That didn't take long for Burnley. Cullen celebrates the birth of his newborn by putting his thumb in his mouth and runs over to the corner, congratulated by all his teammates. Burnley's Premier League season off and running. It was quick and slick as he rolls it into the bottom right-hand corner, and Josh Cullen, the captain, means it's Burnley 1, Sunderland 0.
Yeah, brilliant. We said it in the first half, you need your captain to step up at times, and he did that. It's a brilliant ball, switch of play from Esteve. Ugachukwu makes a back cross, goes behind, and then all of a sudden Hartman plays the ball into Jayden Anthony, who flicks it round the corner. Josh Cullen joins in and he just bends it in the bottom corner. What a brilliant finish. Not known for his goal scoring ability, but he showed great quality there, Josh Cullen.
He created more chances than any player on match day one of the Premier League, Josh Cullen, 5 of them. Now he scores one, and it's a big goal for Burnley, who know with what's to come how precious 3 points could be this afternoon. And Turf Moor, back in the Premier League, comes alive. But hold on, not again. Surely for Burnley, there is a delay here, as VAR will check something in the build-up, possible offside. So Burnley, who had a goal ruled out at one end in the first half, at the other end, thought they'd scored. Have a look at this, Charlie Adam. It's going to be on the long ball from Esteve.
Yeah, it's a switch of play from Esteve. I don't think he's offside. I don't think Larson's offside, just seeing it visually here. But yeah, it's gone. It's a goal.
Bryn Larson on the right-hand touchline was waiting for Esteve's long ball. He was onside, and the goal stands.
Yeah, it's good play from Burnley. Out to Hartman, into Anthony, flicks around the corner. It's a lovely finish from Josh Cullen.
So Burnley off and running, Sunderland behind for the first time in the Premier League this season, and looking for quick response as they flick the ball into the penalty area down the middle. De Bruyne off his line quickly, gathers and gets the ball with both hands before then rolling it at his own feet, takes a touch, and Burnley start from the back.
Just what this crowd needed, wasn't it? The stadium needed is now starting to liven up. But again, good early second half goal from Burnley, lift this crowd, and now you're looking to see Burnley get control of the game and really try and dominate. But you've got to be wary of the Sunderland attack because they are dangerous.
Collision of bodies involving Foster, involving Jaden Anthony of Burnley, and then also Trey Hume of Sunderland, who was kind of scissored off the ball. So free kick to Sunderland, 5 yards or so inside Burnley's half on this near right hand side, which Granit Xhaka will take. Fast start for Burnley, who lead. Fast start for Coventry at the start of the second half, who are now 6-0 up on QPR in the Championship. Plymouth have taken the lead against Blackpool by a goal to nil. In League 1. In League 2, Harrogate have levelled against Chesterfield as Xhaka's ball drifts over towards the left-hand side of the penalty area, headed away by Burnley. The second ball will be gathered by Reynildo, closed down by Anthony, rolls over the touchline on his deflection, on his interception, and out for a Sunderland throw-in. Elsewhere in the Premier League, Totti Gomez has been sent off for Wolves, who are already a goal down in their game against Bournemouth. In League 1, Peterborough, the bottom club behind against Bradford City, have started really well. Celtic have taken the lead against Livingston at Celtic Park in the Scottish Premiership. Doncaster lead at Port Vale. Portsmouth have levelled at the Hawthorns against West Brom. Long range shot comes in from Trey Hume, deflects, and it will go out for a Sunderland corner on the right hand side.
Yeah, a good switch of play in Esteve, but Trey Hume stepping in again. Esteve going, putting his body on the line, and now a corner where Xhaka's going to go and take an in-swinger.
Right in front of the Sunderland fans as well. Many of them with their red and white vertical striped home shirts on in that away end. The cricket ground stand with Burnley Cricket Club behind it to our right-hand side. 2/3 full with Sunderland fans. In goes Xhaka's corner, in swinging all the way to the back post, all the way past everybody, and behind for a Burnley goal kick.
Yeah, they looked like they didn't get the blocks right. Too many people went across the front, and Granit Xhaka's overhit it, but it's still dangerous. You have to be wary of set plays, and you know it's really important that Burnley are switched on to that. You've got good height in the team today in terms of Esteve, with Ekdal, with Ugachukwu, Foster, Anthony's likes to head it. Bryn Larsen's a good header of the ball, Kyle Walker, so there's a good height about Burnley today, and they're going to need that because there'll be a lot of set plays over the season in the Premier League, and you have to deal with that.
Ball bounces over towards this near side touchline. Sunderland's pass down their right is intercepted, and now Hannibal swings it in on the outside of his boot from the left of the penalty area. Was looking for the back post. They'll get another go here. Hartman's low cross. He's deflected out of the penalty area, and now it's brought down by Jaden Anthony. They were looking for Brun Larsen, Hannibal at the back post initially. Cullen, the goal scorer, right-footed, swings it in, headed away. Control on the thigh.
Good play from Burnley there. Good tempo to their passing, good movements. Anthony picking up little pockets now.
Burnley looking flow. Although they've given it away, and now Mayenda will try and get Sunderland over the halfway line. He was all on his own, he had no room. Burnley have won it back, and Turf Moor is feeding off how their players are performing. Here's Ugachukwu, right corner of the penalty area, lays it out. Hannibal now on that far side, takes a little trick, lays it back. Cullen, half encouraged to shoot by the Turf Moor faithful, chooses not to, wasn't the right option. Ugachukwu tries to bundle his way in. Here's Brun Larsen, digs under the ball, over the bar it goes. He clasps his hands around his mouth, and he knows that's half a chance.
Yeah, half a chance. Probably at least hit the target, but good combination to Ugachukwu, Cullen, Larsen, Hannibal there. So Brun Larsen coming on the left side, he's very comfortable with both feet, and he blasts over the bar, but he'd be expecting to at least hit the target. Referee looks like he's got a problem.
The referee is just jogging over towards that far side. Let's see what that is for. Is he going to have a word with a member of the coaching staff, or has he got an issue with his radio? It's an issue with the floodlights that are, I think, they're flashing on and off, almost like we're in a disco. It's is that what he's complaining about? Is that what he's trying to get sorted?
Possibly, yeah. Hopefully there might be a party if Burnley get 3 points after this today. So,
well, it's no need to venture out into the town, we'll just have it here.
Yeah, we'll just have it here, yeah.
But yeah, these floodlights, even though it's overcast, even though there's plenty of light, those floodlights flashing on and off intermittently are going to be, I guess, distracting to the players. Although it's not having a massive impact on the amount of light on the pitch, you can see the effect.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be Barry O'Neill, the groundsman here. I know him, and I'll be giving him a bit of stick about that. But unfortunately, it's a bit of electricity. It looks like it's sorted now, is it? No, it's not. It's coming on and off.
There we go. They look a bit more stable now. Referee just having a word with the two captains, Josh Cullen and Granit Xhaka as well, I think, maybe to possibly ask, are you happy to play on with this for now? We've had 9 minutes gone of the second half. It's Burnley 1, Sunderland 0.
Yeah, just trying to get a little bit of deliberation, but the referee just thinks we're waiting, so can we switch them off? Is there enough still daylight there to go with them so far without them? Yeah, it looks like we've switched them off.
And now they're back on again. They need to sort this out. It's a lengthy delay, stoppage in play. Gives me a chance to run through what's going on elsewhere though. Tranmere lead at Crawley, that's in League 2. Norwich are down to 10 in the Championship. They're at home to Middlesbrough and behind this afternoon. The floodlights are on, they are stable. For how long? We'll wait and see. We've had 10 minutes of the second half. We've had a stoppage of a couple of minutes. Burnley lead through Josh Cullen's goal, which is now getting played on the big screens. Right-footed, curling into the far right corner from the left of the penalty area. And that has given Burnley a good start in the second half here. You can hear the fans aren't happy with the delay. What would you be doing as a player, Charlie? Would you want to play on in this?
Yeah, get on with it. You're not looking at floodlight. Let's just play.
So for now, referee Michael Salisbury having another word with Granit Xhaka. Burnley, as players, may be less concerned about the floodlights. They were getting a bit of momentum in this game.
Yeah, they did, but I think the only thing that this is, you could see the different lighting with when they go on and off onto the pitch. So I think that's why the referee's so worried. He needs to try and get it sorted. They want to get them off.
Yeah, there's enough daylight to play on without the floodlights. What they're doing faintly on the pitch is casting shadows and dark patches across the full length of Turf Moor, this iconic old ground. 4 individual stands connected on a couple of corners on our left hand side. The players have been allowed a couple of balls onto the pitch to keep themselves warm and passing in between themselves.
We're happy.
Lights have been turned off. Granit Xhaka has given a thumbs up. The balls are kicked away. So it looks like we are going to play on natural daylight, which makes sense.
Yeah, if we can, but unfortunately that issue that hopefully when they do have to come on later, they don't have that problem. The game's delayed too much, but yeah, just Burnley started to have a little bit of momentum, didn't they? A couple of half chances and that, but good start to Burnley for the second half.
Now, they might not need them today. It is overcast, but there's still some good light on the Turf Moor pitch. They will need it for Tuesday night when they host Derby County here in the second round of the League Cup, Burnley. So a few days for the groundsman to work that one out and the electricians to get themselves into Turf Moor. This iconic ground with the rolling hills in the background, sat in the valley with the light brickwork terrace housing over the Bob Lord stand.
We've actually got an amazing view, haven't we?
Yeah, the factory chimneys are there. Throwback to Burnley's industrial past.
Old Lancashire town. It's a brilliant spectacle, really, in terms of that, and hopefully there's a good spectacle second half in this game, because Burnley have started really well second half and obviously got their goal and half a chances so far, but yeah, look like they're really getting momentum within this game now.
So play back underway. Burnley, those claret shirts, right to left. Sunderland, all in black from left to right. Ball back with their goalkeeper Robin Roos. He's going to be under a bit of pressure. The ball was hastily kicked back to him by Sealt, and he had to drag it across his penalty area under pressure from Jayden Anthony. Burnley have won it back, right hand side. Brun Larsen goes chasing on the byline, plays the back here, which comes off Reinildo. Good play, good clever play from Brun Larsen. It goes behind for a Burnley corner.
Yeah, good slide from Hannibal down the side, and Larsen never gave up there and managed to turn that into a corner. Just shaking his mate's hand there, getting a little bit of life into the crowd, and now an opportunity for Hartman to put a ball in. The first one he put in the first half went straight into the goalkeeper's hands.
So Burnley corner, far side there, right. Expect an in-swing delivery In the Championship, one of your former clubs, Charlie's taken the lead. Stoke lead at Southampton by 1-0.
Yeah, real positive for Stoke at the moment under Mark Robbins. I think they've had a good summer, and it's been a long time. I think they've been in that Championship. Is it a few years since they've been relegated, but never been in the top half, which is incredible. So hopefully this could be the season for the Potters.
Corner in from the far side, swinging at the near post, flicked on by Cullen. Second head was a Burnley one. Cullen then knocks it back out of the corner. Taker is shifted in and deflects and goes behind. Nobody in Sunderland knew where that was going then. Hartman belted that one in, and it goes behind for another Burnley corner.
Yeah, good ball from Hartman. A flick on from Josh Cullen, comes back out to Hartman, and he goes and he tried to put a second ball in and deflects. Now he's got an opportunity now to put the ball back in the box.
Sheffield Wednesday have got one back at Wrexham in the Championship. 2-1 down though there. Barnet have the lead against Cheltenham Town in League 2. You're up to date. 5 Live Sport from Turf Moor. In it goes, in at the near post, headed away. This time Hartman's delivery in swinging, it was headed away, and Sunderland now trying to get themselves on the counter-attack as it's lofted up by Talby. On the chase, he's Siddiqui. Well marshalled by Kyle Walker. His legs may be ageing, but there's still pace there, and it's a header back for Dubravka.
No, yeah, absolutely. There's plenty of legs in Kyle Walker. You've seen his enthusiasm. It could have been easily for him to sit at City or go somewhere else, but he's coming into similar to Granit Xhaka, good experience, played at the highest level, but coming in for a good fight in the Premier League in England, and wants to be at a club that's looking to go and use his experience as well. So I think it's a great signing for Burnley.
Mansfield Town 3-1 up on Leyton Orient in League 1. Burnley in possession. Maxime Esteve, their French defender, played every game in the Championship last season for them. He was the only player to do so as well. It was a pass back that Roofs has to see a way out of his penalty area. He reacted quickly.
It was a big piece of business, wasn't it? Esteve linked with a few clubs in the summer, out the back of the Championship. Him and Egan Riley had a brilliant partnership, and obviously CJ went to Marseille, and Esteve signed a new contract at Burnley, which was big news for the football club, because they probably thought they might have lost him to someone else in the Premier League. So it's good for him to get that experience in the Premier League and really establish himself as a top player.
Trey Hume goes down in front of the Sunderland fans, thought he was fouled from behind by Hartman. Nothing doing, said referee Michael Salisbury. And so Burnley through Esteve are able to get it away. He plays a long crossfield ball that goes behind. Brun Larsen couldn't adjust his feet quick enough, and Sunderland will have a throw midway inside the Burnley half on that far side. 61 minutes played, Burnley 1, Sunderland 0. Stoke now down to 10. Divin Mbama has been sent off. They do lead Southampton though by 1-0. Xhaka on the edge of the centre circle, just nudges it back into his own half ever so slightly for Alderete. And now it's out onto the left-hand touchline for Sunderland to have a look towards the penalty area. Xhaka doesn't look forward though. He plays it 10 yards behind him or so, back out towards that far side touchline. Xhaka then lifts it up. There goes the run of Adingra. Ball couldn't find him though. Played out because there's an injury here to Leslie Ugochukwu, who sat down in the middle of his own half.
Sunderland making treble substitution here. So, after 62 minutes, so trying to get a bit of impetus, a little bit of energy back into the team. 3 players coming off here. Adingra's one of them.
So Adingra goes off also, as does Talby. So there are changes to the back line here from the manager, Regis Lebris, whose side are a goal down against Burnley with 62 minutes on the clock. Talby has put a shift in, certainly in the first half, had that chance as well that he narrowly missed and sent wide of the right hand post. Patrick Roberts comes on, Enzo Lefebvre, and also Wilson Isidore. So Regis Lebris has changed his entire attacking front line, Charlie.
Yeah, and not a bad 3 to bring on, isn't it? The 3 of them, excellent last season. So Patrick Roberts is a tricky player. Isidore's got an eye for a goal. He's a big threat at the top end of the pitch, and Lefebvre was a big summer signing, wasn't he? So again, it's big opportunity now for that front 3 to make a difference to what the front 3 lads did at the start of the game.
Well, Enzo Lefebvre on Isidore got the final goal in that 3-0 win over West Ham last week. Lefebvre now off the bench against West Ham and off the bench here against Burnley to try and make an impact since his permanent move in the summer for just short of 20 million. The loan spell last season from Roma, which has now been made permanent. Ugachukwu has managed to limp off to the far side touchline. Burnley aren't going to make the change just yet, but been interesting to see if he can continue from here.
Yeah, it looks like if Ugachukwu can't stay on, it'll be Josh Laurent that's going to come on as well. So yeah, another good size on the pitch, good energy, good legs, and it was amazing that it was only his first Premier League debut last week against Tottenham. So really proud moment for him. I actually met him on holiday in Dubai in the summer, and he was really excited about the season ahead, and they've done a brilliant job last year, and let's say it's a different animal coming to the Premier League, and it's a great test for him as a player.
So what can Sunderland do now is the question. We'll fill you in some of the latest scores in a moment, particularly as Coventry now have 7 against QPR. Victor Torp has made it 7-0 for Frank Lampard's side, who are celebrating having their arena back. The CBS Arena is back in Coventry City's own hands after 20 years at the stadium. They've never owned it until now. There's been a load of issues around that. Long ball by Burnley, who are right to left in this second half as we look at it from the back of the main stand here at Burnley, giving us that great vantage point over the hills and the terrace housing. And Reynildo's lost out here. Burnley trying to get the ball in the box through Brun Larsen from the right hand side. It is blocked though inside the penalty area. He's trying to find Lyle Foster and he couldn't, and Sunderland escaped from what was a lucky moment for Reynildo.
Yeah, it was a lucky moment there, but good reaction from Jed Nanta there to go and win the ball back. An opportunity now for Burnley to really put the foot on the gas and press Sunderland.
Huddersfield Town lead Stevenage by a goal to 0. Alfie May's got that one in League One. Also Wimbledon now 2-0 up on Barnsley. Accrington Stanley level at home against Grimsby Town to get you up to date on 5 Sports Extra, where it's Burnley 1, Sunderland 0 in the Premier League, and Sunderland through Wilson Isidore trying to get through on the right hand side and can't. Burnley clear it away from their own deep in that side, their own defensive third, and Hannibal's giving it away, and you can hear the frustration in and around Turf Moor on that when they thought they might be on a promising counter-attack. Granit Xhaka for Sunderland to the right of the centre circle, just at walking pace, knocks it into the path of Patrick Roberts. 11 years since his Premier League debut, which came for Fulham against Manchester City. His first taste back in the Premier League. Didn't play last weekend against West Ham United. Here's Siddiqui for Sunderland, pushes it out towards the corner on the left hand side, deep inside the Burnley half, laid back to Reynildo. Reynildo did have a look into the penalty area, changed his mind against it. Couple of 1-2s going on out there. He sweeps it back towards the edge of the centre circle for Omar Alderete.
Yeah, a couple of subs look like it's coming from Burnley as well. Son and Josh Laurent coming on, but again Sunderland got a chance.
Edge of the penalty area, Xhaka slides it just outside the box. It misses Xhaka on the return pass through as Seal didn't know what to do with it. Go for goal as a defender or try and find the route through, and eventually he's blocked off. The challenge comes in. Burnley get it up to the halfway line. It'll come back at them. Here come the Black Cats again. Left hand corner of the penalty area for Lefebvre. Xhaka. Referee has to get out of his way and actually I think put Xhaka off there in his decision making process. Out towards the left hand side, plenty of black shirts in the box. It is lifted up into the penalty area and headed away by Hartman. Burnley with some defending to do as the ball runs over towards this near side touchline. Sunderland throw.
Yeah, now it's a good time for Burnley just to take a little bit of sting out of the game now. But yeah, it was a couple of injuries there. Ugachukwu coming off, but Burnley have been able to soak up that pressure a little bit, and at the moment's going forward. But it's important that they don't just stay off the game and allow Sunderland to try and come on to them and just start putting crosses in the box. But it was a good header there from Hartman round the back, and to be fair to Larsen and Ugachukwu, they've put a great shift in so far and they've done brilliant for the team going back the pitch. It's important that these two guys coming on now do the same shift for the team.
So Jakob Brun Larsen and Leslie Ugachukwu, who was obviously carrying that knock, has departed. On comes Oliver Son and Josh Laurent as well. Son, who Played last weekend in that back line against Spurs. Laurent, who got his first taste of Premier League action last weekend, having previously been at the likes of QPR, Wigan, Bury, Shrewsbury, Reading and Stoke. He gets his chance in the Premier League now for Burnley under Scott Parker, who's got his suit open at the jacket, a narrow knotted tie to complete his look as well. Angie Lebris is sat down in his dugout for now, pensive and pondering, his hand resting on his chin. 20 minutes to go. Burnley leading Sunderland by a goal.
Brilliant. Just unsacrificing run from Laurent there to chase 40 yards to close the goalkeeper down, to then kick the ball at the pitch to get a little bit of respite in the team. But again, Son coming on there now to do the Larsson role, to track back with Reynaldo and do the defensive work, because a lot of the best stuff for Sunderland's come down their left hand side.
Laurent and Hannibal Mejbri combine on that far side touchline. Reynaldo helps clear it away. Foul given. As Sunderland player is just pulled down on the touchline. Stockport County down to 10, but have levelled through Jack Diamond at home against Burton Albion this afternoon in League One. Is Sunderland in possession then, using Sealt midway inside his own half. The black shirts, shorts and socks of Sunderland behind as they are by a goal to nil. Here's Diarra, Sealt again, and just across towards that far side now as Sunderland try a little bit of patience in an attack, certainly in the first half, that was about using the pace of Mayenda. Mayenda's gone off, and now they have to find a different approach. Burnley, 5 at the back. They've solidified their defence, holding on to this 1-0 lead. The early cross comes in from the right-hand side. Isidore was trying to race in there and get a touch. He couldn't. De Bruyne catches at chest height.
Yeah, good run from Isidore across the front there, but Iqbal just gave him a little bit of a nudge to put him off his stride. And Burnley trying to keep that energy and that enthusiasm to press and keep the crowd with them. But Sunderland looking to try and get back in the game again, putting crosses in the box. Roberts, Lefebvre, Isidore, they are a big threat, and they were last year, and they look to be this year. But again, the game is on a knife edge in terms of where it's going to finish. But I like what Burnley have done. They've really gone aggressive and keep pressing, trying to keep that energy within the team and the group. And now they've got control of the ball and looking to try and build around what they're doing.
As it stands, with Burnley leading 1-0, 3 promoted sides will have 3 points. Leeds to come later, though. They could get 2 wins from 2. They're at Arsenal. And that is available on BBC Radio 5 live from 5:30. John Murray and Andy Reid, your commentary team at the Emirates. And then that's followed by 6:06. Natalie Pike and Chris Sutton. 08085 909 693, the number you need. Free phone from mobiles and landlines. You can text 85058 as well at your standard message rate. There is live 100 cricket to follow us here on 5 Sports Extra as well. London Spirit against the Southern Brave. Scotland-Wales available on Sports Extra at 2. And then tomorrow, Steve Crossman from 12 o'clock on 5 Live's Premier League Sunday is live from Everton's New Hill Dickinson Stadium. They're preparing to take on Brighton. And then from 4:30 it's Fulham against Manchester United. More live Premier League commentary than anybody else on BBC Radio 5 Live and across 5 Sports Extra and on the BBC Sounds app this season as well. And there's 2 other streams for you. If you flick that dial at the top of your BBC Sounds app, dead simple to do, you can find Sports Extra, Sports Extra 2 and Sports Extra 3 this season as well. Right now, Burnley 1, Sunderland 0. 1 of 2 live Premier League 3 o'clock kickoffs for you this Saturday. Brentford at home against Aston Villa is your commentary over on BBC Radio 5 Live. Brentford leading by a goal to nil. Celtic have gone 2-0 up at home to Livingston in the Scottish Premiership. Sunderland, looking for the second goal in this game, are getting in control with the possession once again.
Yeah, getting in control, but finding it very hard to get through that Burnley team. Dropping in 5-4-1. Lyle Foster just basically sitting in front of Cullen and Laurent. Hannibal's over on that right hand side, and Jade Nante's trying to protect the middle of the pitch. Now Hartman's out to Roberts in the wide area, but really good controlled defensive display from Burnley so far. No spaces to be able to play through, and just frustrating Sunderland, which is good. It's what you want to do.
And that's what they built their reputation on. Last season, Burnley, all those clean sheets. They can keep one here against Sunderland. It will be really pleasing to Scott Park, and they can add to that with 3 points as Medjbury pushes it through on the right hand side. Josh Laurent has got a real sprint to get there. The ball didn't have a lot of pace, but Laurent was coming from a long way back, and he raced over to the far touchline. He couldn't keep it in play.
Yeah, and Burnley are good. They're happy just to sit in a low block and protect and not allow anything. Allow Xhaka to get on the ball, and centre backs have the ball. And wait for that moment when they can actually get a trigger to go and press the ball, like they did there. Hannibal just actually overhit the pass, but they're ready and they're good. They're in good shape and getting good distances between the back line and the mid line. The team's compact, which really helps Burnley to get up to the ball.
Down the line it goes, inside right channel, but straight on through for Robin Roos. Stockport County down to 10 now, lead Burton Albion by 2 goals to 1 at Edgeley Park. Xhaka, Hume just let the ball come to him, and sliding in was Esteve, and he's missed his interception, but Hume can't do anything with it, trying to play it up to the edge of the Burnley D, and themselves, the Clarets, taking a little bit of time in getting rid of the ball. Eventually they do. In fact, it's up towards the halfway line, and Lyle Foster will get it under control and hold it up and wait for a little bit of support. Dances in and around Noah Siddiqui. Eventually Burnley do give away the ball, but Sunderland had half a chance there, particularly with Esteve out of position, and they couldn't capitalise on it.
Yeah, there's a few tired legs out there in both teams at the moment. You could see that with the amount of turnovers there is and giving the ball away, but good compact, good distances there.
Patrick Roberts into the right corner of the penalty area. He's clipped up by Diarra. Where's the ball dropping? Isidor's going to make himself a nuisance. Well shielded by Kyle Walker, and that allowed De Bruyne inside his 6-yard box to dive down to his right hand side and make the save.
No, it was a good block from Kyle Walker there, but a few tired legs. Important that they don't keep turning the ball over. That's what Burnley have done a lot today. They've turned the ball over, and it's become harder and harder. See Lyle Foster there, looks tired, he looks energetic. I think Lyle Foster could be a big player for Burnley this year. Obviously the last time they were in the Premier League, he had a spell away from the football club for other reasons, and was really tough, and I thought he was could have been a key player at that time, and hopefully he's in a good place, and he can keep his football well and stay fit and healthy, and he can give a good push with that number 9 on his back for Burnley this year.
Yeah, he was grimacing then as he was trying to race back in his own half. You could see him really putting in a shift.
Yeah, he's done a brilliant shift so far for the team, but there's still 15-20 minutes to go. Obviously we'll have the extra time and the subs, and obviously with the floodlight, but you need day players that are going to go and run through. Hannibal looks like he's on his last legs as well. It's important that Burnley maybe freshen up at the moment.
Enzo Lefebvre getting involved, plays it out towards the left hand side as Sunderland try and build on the edge of the Burnley penalty area, but it is tight, it is compact, there is very little room for the runs of Sunderland, and there's very little space to operate in. Burnley move out towards the far side to try and close down Sunderland with Oliver Son. Now the cross comes in from Xhaka, whips in at pace, headed up and away from Ekdal, and Burnley now, with Sunderland coming forward, might be able to get on the counter-attack. It's just a little nudge down the left-hand channel for Foster by Anthony, who continues his run. Foster cuts inside and lays it too far away from Jayden Anthony on the return. And now with Burnley coming forward, maybe Sunderland can try and exploit a little bit of the space with Patrick Roberts, who's already looking busy on the right hand side. Cuts in field, now across the centre circle. Burnley leading by 1-0. Big 13 minutes ahead for both sides here. What it would mean to Burnley to get that first win of the Premier League season, what it would mean for Sunderland to continue their fine start from last weekend, but behind as they are at the moment through Josh Cullen, the captain's goal, onto the edge of the penalty area. Here's Patrick Roberts now on the left, and he's played through Isidore. If it wasn't for the sliding interception of Maxime Esteve, might have been through on goal, but Esteve sticks a leg out and it goes behind for a Sunderland corner.
Yeah, it looks like he's struggling here, Esteve. I don't know if it's cramp or what, but Isidore does brilliant to roll him a little bit, and Esteve, he actually reacts to the pass, and he looks like he's got a bit of cramp. There's a few Burnley players now look like they're starting to tire.
Some of the fans can't watch, looking a bit nervous there.
Yeah, it's a lot of nervousness, isn't there, within the crowd and within the supporters, because they're 12 minutes away from from a big result and ultimately got some added time on. A couple of subs now getting made from Burnley.
Yeah, well, Esteves got up and then sat back down inside the 18-yard box. So important for Burnley, because when they were last in the Premier League, they only won 2 of their 19 home games. If they're to have any chance of survival, they've got to win, and they've got to win at Turf Moor, and they've got 12 minutes to hold on here.
Yeah, good. This rule now is that once the physios come on the pitch, he needs to go off now. It's a very, very tough place to come off now. You know what I mean? It's defending a set play,
especially one of their key defenders.
Yeah,
and this
absolutely.
is a new rule this season. It's to try and limit players' time wasting and feigning injury. That as soon as they're down and the referee stops play for that injury, physios have to come on and the player has to leave the field. I don't think there's any way that Maxime Esteves is feigning or faking this injury. It was a stretch, maybe a stretch too far, and he is in trouble. But the problem for Burnley is he's so key at the back.
Yeah, absolutely, they're going to be key. But again, they've got somebody like Zian Fleming that could possibly come on here, who's a very good header of the ball, and could go and fill that Steph role. But they're going to be still done. They're going to be a man down.
Sunderland, I think, are also going to make a change as well. Mark Guiu is coming on for Habib Diarra. Burnley's changes, we think, are Chowner and Zian Fleming to come on. Are they going to wait for this Sunderland corner first, though? We'll wait and see. It's a short Sunderland corner from the left-hand side. Played to the edge of the 18-yard box, rolled back out to the corner taker. In he goes at the near post. Header opportunity. Now the second shot, which is blocked by Ekdal and bounces back out of the penalty area. Mark Guiu was involved immediately there for Sunderland from that corner, and very nearly scored as well if it wasn't for the deflected block.
Yeah, it's a great header there from Ekdal to get that touch, and Laurent just delays. Yeah, Hume trying to get the ball, but Burnley still did to 10 men.
Esteves, I think, is trying to come back on. He's run off his injury. Here come Sunderland down the near side right, and now the eyes do look to the far side of the field to see if Burnley are going to make that change. No, because Sunderland have taken a very quick throw, and we'll take you around what's happening elsewhere in the Premier League and the Football League very shortly. Esteves running on, not swiftly, not smoothly, but he's on quickly into that back line. He's going to try and continue if he can.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a cramp, but Joe Worrell's now warming up. Are they going to make that change?
Sunderland might try and exploit Esteves not being at 100%. Round the back, the ball is played to Mark Guiu. Too much pace on it. Dubravka can come off his goal line, make the save. 9 minutes to go. Burnley leading by a goal to nil through Josh Cullen. Let's catch you up with what's happening elsewhere. Che Dunkley's put Chesterfield 2-1 up at Harrogate as Dubravka slices his clearance away under a bit of pressure from Guiu, and it is out for a Sunderland throw midway inside the Burnley half. Tranmere now 2-0 up at Crawley in League 2. Sorba Thomas has put 10-man Stoke 2-0 up at Southampton. Here's Guiu again, right-footed shot wide of the right-hand post, the near post for which he was aiming. It was Esteves sliding in to put him off again. No touch from the Burnley defender, but behind it goes for a goal kick. Sheffield Wednesday have levelled against Wrexham 2-2 in the Championship. Celtic 3-0 up on Livingston in the Scottish Premiership. Southampton now have one back. Taylor Harwood-Bellis. So Southampton 1, Stoke 2, the latest score. And also in the Championship, Norwich have halved the deficit through Josh Sargent. Norwich 1, Middlesbrough 2. Here come those Burnley changes then, with Med, Hannibal and Foster replaced by Zian Fleming and Loon Chowner.
Yeah, good. To be fair to the lads, the two lads have run on empty. They're on the last legs. Esteves obviously with a cramp, and Hannibal's done a brilliant job dropping in that right hand side at times, and just 5-4-1, just again just trying to get energy in that. Worrell, good organiser, good leadership experience in the Premier League, and good sub to have coming on.
Yeah, Joe Worrell, who broke his foot last season, which really limited his game time. Broke his foot for a second time in his career. He's come on to replace the overstretched Maxime Esteves for these final 7 minutes or so for Burnley plus added time, and there'll be a considerable amount as well. Burnley 1, Sunderland 0. 5 Sports Extra live at Turf Moor. Dubravka with no other players inside the Burnley half. He smacks that long over the halfway line. That's how much Burnley just wanted away from their 18-yard box. They're not interested now in trying to play the ball so much. It is keeping their penalty area clear. Bromley have levelled 2-2 against Notts County in League 2. Ball currently on the halfway line with Sunderland's Omar Alderete. The Paraguayan defender who joined in the summer from Getafe, having played in La Liga last season. Sunderland have won a free kick 10 yards or so inside the Burnley half, left hand side of the field. Xhaka is over it. Organisation from Joe Worrell instantly as Burnley's back line stands in a row on the edge of their D, overcast at Turf Moor. The Sunderland fans still cheering along their team down towards our right hand side behind the goal. Xhaka, left-footed, lifted into the penalty area. Dubravka came off his line early, single fist punch away, clears the danger now for Burnley, but Patrick Roberts is first to the loose ball, comes back to Xhaka, had a look over to the left hand side, turns it back in field. Reynaldo to Patrick Roberts on the right hand side, he turns it round the corner, and now Trey Hume rips it in right footed, header flicked away by Kyle Walker over to the far side of the penalty area. Twist and a little turn and a dance in the feet of Enzo Lefebvre. Xhaka, left-footed, looks deep, is deep, bounces behind, goal kick for Burnley, who still lead 1-0.
Yeah, good header from Kyle Walker, great line there, organisation, and that's the thing about Joe Worrell. First half they get done after about a minute for that long ball Dan Ballard gets his cut, but Joe Worrell's organised. We can actually push the line further back so they can get that second ball and get that. So it was good leadership, good organisation, and he'll be talking people through the game, leading that back line for the last 10-15 minutes of the match. But Dubravka coming for that punch gives the group and the team and the crowd good confidence as well.
As Ian Fleming now does come on for Burnley, stepped away, but it is Lyle Foster who he has replaced. Crewe's unbeaten record in League 2 under threat then. They'd started the season with 4 wins from 4, but Gillingham have scored late on, so they lead at Priestfield. Peterborough United, without a point so far in League 1, have got an equaliser late on at home to Bradford City, and Wickham are now back level against Reading in League 1, so 2 apiece at Adams Park. Dubravka with another long goal kick high in the air over the top of the Bob Lord stand, and it goes into the Sunderland half. It'll come back though with Sunderland wrestling for it. A little bit too harsh from Josh Laurent on the back of Enzo Lefebvre. That gives the Black Cats a free kick.
Yeah, it was a foul again. Fleming now giving them an out ball, going in for the headers and long kicks, goal kicks. Lyle Foster put a great shift in, but now it's important that Fleming does the same job and sits and protects that midfield 4 and does a shift for the team, so it becomes frustrating for that Sunderland defenders, and they not getting easy possession and being able to put the ball in the box.
4 minutes to go. Burnley 1, Sunderland 0. Josh Cullen, who scored in Burnley's final game the last time they were in the Premier League, has scored in their first game on the return this season. As for Sunderland, they don't travel well in August or September. They haven't won any of the last 24 away games in August and September in the Premier League, last beating Bolton in August 2009. A point could be precious here as Ekdal steps in and intercepts the ball on the inside right channel of the Burnley 18-yard box, cleared away by the home side, and Sunderland are able to retain the possession, get it back again with Omar Alderete up and across the halfway line. Fleming goes and chases him down, he rolls it out towards the left-hand touchline. Walker cleverly steps in front of Isidore. Now Burnley themselves are looking forward with a lovely sweeping move, and Anthony is in here, goalkeeper off his line. Anthony rounds roofs and puts it in, slides on his knees in the corner flag, and Burnley will win their first home game back in the Premier League. As Sunderland were pushing for an equaliser, Anthony broke round the back. He was one-on-one. Roofs made the early decision to come out as Anthony rounded in and powered it home down the middle of the goal. And it's Burnley 2, Sunderland 0.
Yeah, brilliant counter-attack from Burnley. Kyle Walker stepping in, wins the tackle, plays it in, back Josh Cullen, plays a first-time pass straight in behind Trey Hume. And Anthony's first touch, Jayden Anthony's first touch is perfect. He goes and he gives himself enough distance from the defender, and then he goes round the goalkeeper, and he does brilliant just to lift it into the top of the goal and get Burnley 2-0. But what a wonderful counter-attack from Burnley there.
The lone player made permanent in the summer stamps a permanent victory, you would feel, for Burnley with a couple of minutes left of the 90. It was slick, it was pacey. Anthony, once he was round the back of the defender, you'd always fancy him. Still had a bit of work to do when he got round the goalkeeper.
It's a lovely finish, but I love the ball from Josh Cullen. He's just played it in between there. Sorry, it's Granit Xhaka actually plays it in between them. and it's a brilliant finish from Anthony. But it's a great relationship that him and Scott Parker have had. They've known each other since they were at Bournemouth days, and he's done a great job for him, hasn't he, bringing him here, and done a really, the numbers were brilliant last year in terms of goals and assists for the team, and then ultimately making it permanent this year, and to get that goal in the Premier League and giving Burnley a 2-goal lead so far.
Sunderland might make it nervy. We're about to learn how much added time in the next minute or so. There'll be quite a lot of it. We had a stoppage for VAR. We've had stoppage for a floodlight issue as well. Burnley hack it deep into the Sunderland half. Behind it goes for a goal kick. Elsewhere, QPR have 1 back, but it's still Coventry City 7. QPR 1. Swindon have been pulled level by Shrewsbury 1-1 at the county ground. Full time's coming in. Mark Chapman will have your full review on Sports Report on 5 Live. Josh Cullen named man of the match, a goal and an assist, and I don't think anyone will have any complaints.
No, absolutely not. And again, his leadership again, and talk about picking up second balls and that, but the other side of the game, showing that quality, that pass in behind Xhaka was phenomenal, and it was a great finish there from Jed Nanty to give them that 2-goal cushion, but there's plenty of time going to be added on here.
I'm hearing 10 minutes.
Wow.
So maybe it is not done yet, as the fans in the cricket ground stand here at Burnley, loft their hands in the air, singing the Burnley club anthems. Sunderland fans a little quieter now than they were. Backwards header works out for Burnley, and Dubravka just lets that go over the byline for a goal kick. 10 minutes has gone around then Turf Moor. Fans a little nervous, but their side have a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, it's it was obviously because of the floodlights, but also again the subs that have been made. It's frustrating, but now Burnley have to get control, get organised. Who's the leaders in the team that are now going to get you through that? That core is going to be, that middle of the team is going to be important. Walker, Worrell, Ekdal, Cullen, Zian Fleming. Can they get a team and organise them, get good distances, good compact?
Foul given.
Alderete there for no reason, just shoulder badged them.
Yeah, Chowner down and looks in some serious discomfort. That's frustration from Alderete.
That's all that is. He's just tried to bump him, and if you're Burnley, you're delighted with that, aren't you? Get up the pitch, put Sunderland under a bit of pressure.
So free kick to Burnley, that'll run down the clock a little bit more as well. The first minute of 10 has gone. If you're a Burnley fan leaving the ground early, a few have. You can listen back to the goals on BBC Sounds if you want as well. Find the 5 Sports Extra dial, and you'll be able to rewind Josh Cullen's goal right at the start of the second half, and then just moments ago Jayden Anthony has made it 2-0. Over in the corner on the far side, Chowner has won Burnley a corner as well. Again, there'll be no rush to take it, they don't need to, but it'll be another set piece here for Burnley, who look like they're going to put this into the penalty area. They're not keeping it in the corner flag by any stretch. There are plenty claret shirts inside the Sunderland 18-yard box away to our right-hand side, our left-hand side rather. Joe Worrell's up there, Anthony too, Zian Fleming. Ekdal's gone up the defender. It is a short corner from Burnley, taken by Chowner. Will he then choose to swing it into the box on his return? He lays it back to Kyle Walker, over to the touchline. Now Chowner does left-footed cross it in. Ekdal gets a foot to it, but it's taken all the pace off it and runs through to Robin Rees.
It's a hard decision, isn't it, really? Because you've got 10 minutes or 8 minutes to go. You want to try and keep it in the corner, but there's still plenty of time to go. So I think sometimes you just got to, put it in the box, keep your routines, and then when you get to that last 2 or 3 minutes, then you can keep it short.
Swindon Town have gone in front against Shrewsbury. They were pegged back, but not for long. Billy Bowden seemingly won it for Ian Holloway's side. Mansfield have got 4 now against Leyton Orient in League One. All the full times drifting in. We'll keep you across it on 5 Sports Extra, and of course on 5 Live Sport, where Brentford still lead Aston Villa by a goal to nil. Bolton in the 97th minute through a Tom Hamer own goal have got an equaliser against Lincoln City, 1-1. Earlier today in the Premier League, Manchester City beaten at home by Tottenham Hotspur. 2 wins from 2 for Thomas Frank to start his reign with in the Premier League. Flicked on down the right hand side. Burnley could be in again here. Zian Fleming trying to make his way into the box. It's just held up for now by Josh Laurent. Into the corner they go. Now they're going to hold it up, and they played it cleverly off Omar Alderete.
It's good play, and just taking little bits, getting up there, getting throw-ins, getting corners, taking the sting out of the game. But it's been a great second half from Burnley, isn't it? I thought they've really come out of that second half, scored the early goal, but organised, disciplined, and got that second goal on the counter-attack. But they have to be focused now when things are getting tight, bodies are getting tired. It's important that they really concentrate.
Zion Fleming on the turn might have been caught there, but the referee didn't have any hesitation in waving it away. Sunderland trying to come forward. It's a poor pass from Trey Hume infield, and Chandler intercepts. Now here's Anthony, scorer of Burnley's second goal, close on the 90 minutes. Burnley leading by 2-0. 6 minutes to go, still of added time. 10 minutes were shown, and Burnley leading Sunderland to make sure that all the 3 promoted sides, and a lot's been made of the 3 that have come up over the last 2 seasons, have gone straight back down. All 3 promoted sides will be off and running with a win if Burnley hold on to this 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and again, that's a positive for the 3 teams that have coming up. I thought the 3 teams that went down this year were really, really poor in terms of the return that they had. So it's important that Burnley and Sunderland and Leeds, have gone, but I think it'll be a bigger points total to stay up this year as well.
Sunderland crossing from the left-hand side, too much pace on it, nowhere near a black shirt. Behind it goes for a goal kick. The other promoted side in action this evening, Arsenal against Leeds on 5 Live Sport from 5:30. Goal kick to Burnley, Dubravka, the 36-year-old Slovakian, signed in the summer from Newcastle. Did struggle to keep clean sheets last season, but has kept one today. A couple of important saves in the first half. It has been a contrasting game of 2 halves, hasn't it, to be so cliche. Sunderland were better in the first, Burnley better in the second.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're absolutely spot on there. That I thought Sunderland had the best chances in the first half, big moments, but Burnley come out second half and real impetus to their play, and quality. Getting that early goal helped them, but they've shown good moments.
Chowder from range, wide of the left-hand post. Burnley had it on the left-hand side, and Chandler on the edge of the D was racing into a low ball, cut across field, and he whacked it with everything he'd got, left-footed. It wasn't far wide.
Oh, it's very close. It's a great ball in for Hartman, and he just swings his left foot. It actually hits outside of the post. It's a brilliant effort.
Central position. Roos was flat-footed. He could only watch and hope it went wide. It did. 6 minutes of the 10 added on has gone. Chowner in possession again, just outside the centre circle, inside the Burnley half. The Clarets right to left in these closing stages as it's played down the middle to Josh Laurent, who'll just poke it out towards the left-hand side. Chowner tries to cut in field. This time it is read well enough by Reynildo, and it is a free kick as he goes down in the aftermath on the edge of the Sunderland penalty area.
Son's rolled into Chowner there, and he tries to overlap him. It's 96th minute, you're 2-0 up. Just stay in your position, leave your winger 1v1, let him go, don't be overtaken, and you give a foul away, and all of a sudden now you've got to track 60 yards back the pitch. It's important now that Burnley just take control of the game, get organised, get disciplined, keep the distances good.
Patrick Roberts for Sunderland, middle of the Burnley half, central position as well. It's pushed onto the edge of the D. Challenges come in. Zion Fleming tries to get to the second ball, he can't. Here's Reynildo out towards the left-hand side. Roberts now offers his support inside of the left-hand touchline. Granit Xhaka, the captain of Sunderland, not a lot he can do to drag his team over the line here as Roberts tries to feed it on through, but unsuccessfully so for Enzo Lefebvre. Sunderland throw-in, however, with 2.5 minutes left of the 10 that were added on. Burnley 2, Sunderland 0. Over to the left-hand side it goes again. Reynildo, infield. Sunderland have to score now if they want to set the nerves around this place. Some Burnley fans think it's done as they head down the steep steps towards the exit and back through the concourse here. Sunderland fans will be hoping the bus engines have started up already, ready to get them back across the M62 and up the A1. Dubravka bounces the ball a couple of times. Referee's put his hand in the air to say 5 seconds left of your 8 seconds that you're allowed. Dubravka caught out by that last week, making smooth exit of the ball from his hands this week, certainly, as the referee started to count him down, raising an arm in the air. Xhaka on the edge of the centre circle. Burnley 2, Sunderland 0. 5 Sports Extra from a dry, a mild but a cloudy Turf Moor this afternoon. Tougher challenges ahead for Burnley. Manchester United at Old Trafford next week. Then they've got Liverpool and Forest to come. Manchester City away before the end of September as well. They have a miserable record at the Etihad Stadium. The ball bounces into the air. Dubravka chooses to punch rather than catch, and then that allows the low shot from Lefay into a crowd of players. Josh Laurent got the block in, and it can't be kept in play either by Oliver Son on that far side. So corner kick here to Sunderland on their far left hand side in front of those Sunderland fans as we roll into the final minute of added time. A packed, congested 6-yard box. It's got to be perfect, this delivery from the far side. It is whipped in at pace. It is pulled back onto the penalty spot. A swing really with not a clear connection from Alderete. Burnley have it on the near side touchline and clear it long.
Yeah, good defensive play there from Burnley, and now they're on the counter-attack again. Now into Cullen, just keeping the ball.
Cullen and Anthony combining there. 2 goal scorers this afternoon. Josh Cullen right at the start of the second half, and Jayden Anthony right at the end of it, really. Here he is playing the ball back towards the halfway line, smashed away by Ekdal under a little bit of pressure from Mark Guiu, but anywhere will do for Ekdal in that scenario. Seconds remain, and I imagine there'll be a huge cheer from the Burnley fans. Starved of success really here last time in the Premier League, but they made a winning start this time around. They're leading by 2-0. Sunderland over towards the halfway line. Now the whistles start. They realise the clock's running to the 100th minute. There goes the full-time whistle. Burnley back in business in the Premier League. They get a 2-0 win over the side they came up with last season in Sunderland. A better second half from the Clarets, who started quickly through Josh Cullen's goal and were then doubled in lead thanks to Jayden Anthony right at the end of the second half as well. For Sunderland, it was a satisfactory first half that they just couldn't build on. Made changes to their front line, but as Burnley solidified and went to a back five, it became increasingly harder for Régis Lebris's side. But Scott Parker edges closer and closer to 100 wins as a manager. He's yet to lose at Turf Moor, and the Premier League's not going to stop that record either. It finishes here. Burnley 2, Sunderland 0.
Yeah, brilliant performance. 2 halves, totally different, but again, it's really important when you come back up to the Premier League from the Championship. They've done a brilliant job last year. How quick can you get that first win? And you can see it, how much of a lift it's given this support already. And really important that they just keep focused on what the job and what they do. One game at a time, that's all that matters. Yeah, of course, there's things you have to improve on and you'll get better as the season goes by. There's still another week of the window as well, which could be really important. So for Burnley, it's a big 3 points in terms of we got the first one on the board, but now can we build on that on Tuesday night against Derby, and can we then go again away at Manchester United Saturday?
Scott Parker congratulating his players. It's a big hug with his captain Josh Cullen, who celebrated the birth of a new baby this week. Kyle Walker exchanges words with Granit Xhaka inside the centre circle. The Burnley players all with big smiles on their faces. A couple of Sunderland players bent to their knees on the full-time whistle. Well, Burnley are off and running. Sunderland's bright start last weekend is dented. They'll go again next weekend when they host Brentford in the Premier League, and I'm sure the Stadium of Light will be rocking.